those of them that run Facebook, not only in the damnable zoological republic, but also out of California, they have decided or determined, I should say, that I shouldn't broadcast live on Facebook. I have done everything humanly possible. We have done everything humanly possible to make sure we come live on Facebook. They have refused. They have flatly refused. The zoo have stuffed them with money as always. And those of them working for Facebook in Lagos and in Abuja have sided with the Janjaweed Fulani Caliphate to try to deny us space to propagate the gospel of the restoration of the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very. This address this evening is designed to touch upon everything we have accomplished over the years and what we intend to accomplish as we move forward. Not minding that I'm not on Facebook, I will allow, or should I say, advise our people to allow those who are waiting for me to come live on Facebook to please access this very broadcast via IPOB Community Radio app, also Radio Biafra app, our FM relay stations in the blessed land of Biafra. We are also on satellite television. There you can be able to follow this very program this morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. Before we go any further, this customary with us, we must hand over our proceedings to the Most High, to come and take charge, not just of this very broadcast this very evening, but also these very efforts to liberate his own children this year going forward. They have decided not to allow us to broadcast on social media. That notwithstanding, I do understand that we are on YouTube as well. Some of you may be able to follow us on that very platform if you wish to do so. Let us pray. And we are going to pray as it is customary here in the language of heaven. Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-akpụ isi ala nye. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya ka mbara igwe na-egosi ọrụ aka ya mere eji wee na-etubusu niile nke ndị agha onweghị onye dịka eze ndị nsọ. Ọ bụ na aka gị ka anyị dabere onye nwe m. N'ime gị ka anyị gbabara eze mbe dị ngọzi. Wee n'eze atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Anyị wee were ụmụ gị n'ụwa niile bụ ndị IPOB bụ abụrụ tụrụ ugo onye nwe m. Wee na-ebute n'iru nsọ gị. Ka i wee gọzie ụmụ gị n'otu n'otu. Ọnụaka niile ezinụlọ ha niile ọpụpụ ha na mbata. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile arịrịọ ka anyị na-arịọ gị. Mkpụrụ ka anyị na-akpọkụ aha nsọ gị. Ka ọ ga-abụ n'ibete maazị ka ndị iro hapụ iche anya otu onye nwe m n'ihi na ọ bụ sọsọ aha nsọ gị ka anyị ji wee na-anya isi. Anyị edebe onye ọzọ mba niile dị iche iche wee gbakọta anya azụ wee na-eme ka ha wee megide ndị gị onye nwe na Chineke nna nke igwe ka ha si wee kunie na ha ga-esi wee megide obodo nsọ gị bụ Israel. Iwu esi na mba n'okwu gị ga-abịarị na mmezu n'ụbọchị nke ndị Israel wee guzosie ike. Otu a ka anyị si wee na-arịọ gị n'otu aka ahụ anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra gbasasị aka ụkpaka n'ụwa niile ka anyị na-eche n'iru gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi n'ihi na ikwuru anyị na nkwa sị na mgbe ọ bụla anyị tụburu wekwa ọkụ aha nsọ gasịrị ngọ nga tụrụ egwu mmadụ ọbụla ụbọchị ọbụla anyị tụburu wee jụọ arụsị na ụbọchị nke ahụ na ị ga-agosi anyị n'ụzọ pụrụ iche iwe gọzie ndị gị onye nwe m n'ụbọchị nke taa. Sọsọ eji ama ka anyị na-ajaga onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe n'ihi na ọ bụ na anaghị bụ ndị pụrụ imemila ndị iro n'ihu anya anyị etu a onye nwe m na Chineke nna ka aka nsị ndị iro bara ha ọnụ obodo ekwensu busu aka nsị ha wee baa ha ọnụ ndị terọrist na ndị bandit wetara ha n'ala ha n'iyi dịka isi wekwa anyị na nkwa na oge ahụ ru na ị ga-ememila ndị niile bụ ndị mere ka ụmụ gị wee gbaa anya mmiri. Onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke bi n'igwe anyị wee were ụmụ gị ndị ya niile n'otu n'otu onwe onye ọbụla nke anyị na-ahapụ wee nyefee gị n'aka Anyị wee na-echeta ndị nọ n'ụlọ nga, wee na-echeta ndị nọ n'ụlọ ikpe n'obeghị ihe ọbụla ha mere. Ndị niile bụ ndị nwe ike kpọtara ndị ụmụ ekwensị ka ha wee gwagbuwe onye nwe anyị na Chineke ndị ga-abọrọ anyị ọbụ. Ebe nwe ike nọ na ndị otu ya, ị ga-abọrọ anyị ọbụ n'ihi na ịbụ Chineke nna, ị ga-abọrọ anyị ọbụ ebe nwe ike na onye nwe m. N'otu aka n'isi ọma ahụ na ndị ọjọọ niile bụ ndị kpọtara ndị Fulani Janjaweed n'ala nsọ onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe. Ndị dị etu a bụ ndị ga-ekpochapụ n'otu n'otu. Ị gaghị eme ha ebere. Anyị na-agba akwụkwọ isi ha nna nke igwe n'otu ahụ onwe ha tụwere mụta ụmụaka n'ihi na nwa ike mụta nwoke mụta nwaanyị. Otu aka bụ nwa ha si wee mụta nwoke mụta nwaanyị, ibe asị wee mụta nwoke wee mụta nwaanyị, nwa ọha wee mụta nwoke wee mụta nwaanyị. Nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka ha si wee mechie ezinụlọ ndị ọzọ. Onye nọ na Chineke nna nke bụ n'igwe sikọta wee mechie ezinụlọ ndị dị etu a n'ihi onwe ihe ọbụla sị anyị na ha na-abụ nna nke ebere. Oge osisi anyị ga ka anyị na-aga, onwe onye ọbụla napụrụ ihe ya n'ike. Anyị anaghị ezu ochi, anyị anaghị agba ama. Nna nke dị nsọ, ị ga-ekwu n'iwe lụọrọ ndị gị ọgụ. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, obodo ekwesị bụ usu oke ga-ala n'iyi dịka ekwesịkwa anyị na nkwa. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi. Ọ bụ gị onwe gị bụ onye hiwere Eastern Security Network, ọ bụghị mmadụ dị ndụ, n'ihi na ọ bụ izi anyị ozi anyị wee zie ndị dị ndụ. Iwe si n'oge ahụ erure mgbe nnụnụ ọbụla ji alaghachi na kwuru onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe na a ga-enwe ndị nchegecha ala nsọ gị. Iwe si etu ọbụla eme ka ha wee guzosi ike. Ezi ebube dị ngọzi. Ihe a ga-eri aga ha bụ onye nwe m na Chineke nna igwe kpuchigide ha. Ị ga-enye ndị mmụọ ozi gị iwu ebe ndị dị etu ahụ bụ ndị nche, bụ ndị volunteer. Anyị wee guzosi ike n'isi ụmụ gị ndị a niile bụ ndị na-eche ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe wee na-asị na ndị mmụọ ozi gị ga-agba ha okirikiri wee chebe ntụtụ ihe ha ba. O nweghị atụmatụ ọjọọ ọbụla nke ndị iro ga-emetụta ha n'ahụ nna nke igwe, n'ihi na mmeri bụ nke anyị. Ị ga-arọpụtara anyị ngwa agha ezi ebube. Ị ga-arọpụtara anyị ngwa agha onye nwe m na ndị Fulani Janjaweed pụta ala nsọ gị anyị sụọ ha bụ nna nke ebe anyị ọ gwara ha wee tọjụọ ala n'ihi na abụghị ekwensu. Ọ ga-abụ na ekpeta masị na Biafra ga-eguzorịrị. O nweghị ihe ọbụla mmadụ dị ndụ pụrụ ime ebe Biafra ga-eguzo n'ihi na ihe ọbụla idere n'idewu ya. Anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị, gọzie aha nsọ gị ma bulie gị elu site na ebighị ebi ma bụ n'ebighị ebi ka anyị na-agụ. Ise. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you this evening.
Let us listen small to our
we are not
the voice of our
Facebook
President can vote and listen to our program.
To tell me, or in fact, they actually said to me that I will not be able to broadcast on my Facebook page. That is the reason.
It's from the side. Hold on 1 minute. The voice will come back.
Kept fighting the stupidity of a black man. Because those who rose up against him were also black people who were suffering, and they are still suffering till this very day. Ojukwu was also fighting Igbo Efulefus everywhere. That was exactly what happened. And this fight we are facing now is no different. That is why we are very, very strategic in terms of our approach, not just to the disintegration of the damnable zoological republic, but its disembowelment. I did promise you many years ago that by the time we are done with Nigeria, the name Nigeria will no longer exist. That is where we are headed. And for us to be able to accomplish that, we need to recreate the scenario of Yemen, the scenario of Syria, the scenario of Somalia, in the northern part of the damnable zoological republic. And there is only one way we are going to achieve that. ESN will give it to us. Because in their eternal foolishness and stupidity, it is called hubris. The Janjaweed army will come to the south to engage us. They will. They will come. It is not a question of if, but when. But this time around, we are waiting for them in our bushes and in our forests. We are not going to fight this war in our townships. We are going to fight it inside our bushes and in our forests. They will come there and we're going to kill them. All of them. And as they are coming into our bushes and in our forests, they will leave their backside open. Terrorists from all across the Sahel will flood into Arewa lands and occupy it. God will destroy them. I just want all of you to watch and see what is going to happen to the zoo.
Is it happening today?
What they call banditry
It's
and
happening.
insurgency is only the beginning. Just an appetizer. The real dish is coming. The main course is coming. At the end of this process, all of you will worship God the way that nobody ever did in the world before. Biafra is coming not through the efforts of any mortal, but through the grace of God and God only and not man. God will not share his glory with any mortal. By the time that Biafra gets here to us, we will all be very thankful that out of the billions upon billions of the people that occupy this very earth, Chukwuokike chose Biafra to showcase his mighty works. You must remember this always. The fight we're engaged in is not of a carnal nature. It is very, very spiritual. That is why the same Efulefus that fought Ojukwu, the same idiots that is scattered all over the zoo that fought Ojukwu's restructuring, they gave birth to their children. And today, those idiots, some of them, of course, fired by Fulani Janjaweed, are fighting us. Because Biafra is the kingdom of heaven upon the face of the earth. The beginning of the genuine liberation of every black person on the face of this very earth. Therefore, Lucifer doesn't want Biafra to come. Agents of darkness in the zoo and beyond do not want Biafra to come. Neo-colonialists in British Foreign and Commonwealth Office do not want Biafra to come. Because they know what Biafra portends. They know that with Biafra, a Fulani, ordinary Fulani boy will be able to go to school and be free. They know with the coming of Biafra, the entire Black Africa will be liberated from decades, or should I say centuries, of unsolvable hardship and poverty. They understand that very well. That's why they are fighting. When you see the likes idiots like Mike and Omahi, they are doing the job of the devil. They are working for Lucifer for darkness. The same thing that Obaha Biaseka did against Ojukwu, that is what Mike and Omahi are doing of them. So-called governments. Have they been able to defend you against Fulani Janjaweedism? When Nimbo was attacked, Ozowane was attacked by Fulani herdsmen, all these Efulefus, what did they do? They did nothing. When people were being murdered and raped and slaughtered in Edo State, what did the governor then do of Edo? Nothing. Even now, the other state is under siege. What have they done? Nothing. Therefore, I find it very, very distressing that human beings that claim they are educated or have a semblance of exposure to enlightenment and reason will rise up one morning to side the governments. I find it very, very shocking. These are the things that you must understand and bear in mind. That the same difficulties Ojukwu encountered against Igbo people especially, and some Efulefus from Ijoland, from Ibibio, are we all not suffering now? Who is having fun? I'm asking you. Because I know what that sold out to Biafra. Is he not dead? Was he not killed by a Fulani man, by a Janjaweed? Who are the people that own the oil wells we have today in Ijoland, in Ogoniland, in Ibibio, in Anam, in Estate Land? I'm asking them, the idiots that refer to themselves as South, I want to ask you a simple question. How many oil wells do you have in your land? That was what Ojukwu was fighting for. So you can have access to your own resources. But out of your stupidity, your idiocy and foolishness. You sided Abacha. You sided Muhammad. You sided the Obasanjos of this world. Today, all the billionaires you have, not one single Biafran is among them. Not one single Easterner. The only thing that you idiots specialize in is fighting those who are fighting for the freedom. That is how foolish some of you are. You are foolish beyond redemption. After fighting Ojukwu from 67 to 70, how is your life today, I ask you? How is your life? It's a very simple question. Ojukwu went to Aburi to go and get restructuring for all of you to make your lives better. The same way that their propaganda machine led by the BBC managed it, because we are black people. Just like today, we are celebrating New Year's Day, a Gregorian New Year's Day. Because one pope somewhere decided he wants to be having his Christmas every winter. That's all. He changed the calendar of the world. Upside down. Celebrating Gregorian New Year. When you go to Africa and see how people are celebrating the New Year, nobody's asking any question. Is this the actual beginning of the year? Nobody's asking. That was how they brainwashed all of you, washed away your brains and your common sense. You can no longer reason. That is why, after Arabs must have sold us as commodities, the Europeans came, took us into the Americas as slaves, sold our children as slaves. Today, we are still being killed in some parts of America, isn't it? A boy was killed in Ireland just the other day. After they finished, now the Chinese are coming. Every race in the world will always enter into Africa because they understand how foolish Africans are. They know we are going to be fighting each other and not them. They understand what I call the genetic defects and deficiency in the brain of a black man. They understand it very well. The same thing is happening to us. Omahi could not defend you when the Fulanis came. None of your so-called governors could defend you when the Fulanis came. The same people are today saying they're against Eastern Security Network, and some of you are foolish enough to be listening to them. But when Zowan was attacked in Enugu, people slaughtered, including a girl that came back home from Ghana. None of you did anything. She did nothing. Do you see how black people reason? That is the reason why God gave me this revelation many years ago. That the greatest obstacle to the progress of a black man is in his brain, that a black man cannot reason. A black man cannot reason. Fulanis, they come to your land, they attack you, they rape your mother, they abduct your daughters. What are you going to do about it? It's a very simple question. For very many years, we kept quiet to see if you can do anything about it. But you didn't. All we did was to lament. This kidnapping here, they have destroyed crops here, they have killed us here, they have fighted. Every year, every week, we kept on lamenting with no concrete action. Only lamentation, lamentation, lamentation. Now that those chosen by God to fight for this land has risen up to set up Eastern Security Network. Some of the idiots, I wouldn't even say it is them. Some of the idiots, some of the fools, some of the people fathered by Janjaweed, they are busy telling you the governors are against it. These are not against it. It's a militia. But Amoteku is there. They'll tell you it was set up by law. There's a law guiding it. Which law is that? Show me in the Constitution of the Zoo. And when you point out Miet Yala Vigilante to them, they shut their mouth. What they have now done is to go to DSS every day. DSS will manufacture one group. That doesn't exist. That does not exist. Because they understand the mind of a black monkey in Africa. Once they keep telling you, this Igbo group is against the ESM, that Eastern group is against the Nambekano, if they keep repeating the same lie, they know you are black people, one day it will click into your mind. And you start to question ESM. Then that time they will bring what is left of their army. We know how many soldiers they have in the zoo, and we know that we have more men under arms than them in the zoo. We know where we lost the war. We're not going to lose this very war, I'm telling you. Before God and man, we can't lose it. Heaven is my witness, we cannot lose it. They are going to die in our land. They are going to die in their land. And their homes will be taken over by the monster that they bred. And sometimes some of you do not understand it. So sometimes when I go through sin, in fact, I said to myself, God, in my next life, I can never come to Africa. I don't know which be idiots can always impact. Let me tell you what is going to happen in the north. For some of you who do not know, it has started happening already. Do you know that the mother of Buratai died? Buratai could not go to his house. He's the army general, commanding all the armies of the zoo. He couldn't go for his mother's burial. Are you aware of that? In Burma, he couldn't go. Why do you think so? Do you know that Isa Puntua died? He was not buried in his village, he was buried in Abuja. Are you aware that Herbert Yari died? Herbert Yari was not buried in his hometown, in one of the Borno villages. He was buried, so they claim in Abuja. Do you know that Simon Da is dead? Do you know that everybody who has risen up to take over, do you know that the entire Fulani Cabal I was telling you about before, that they're all dead? Are you aware of that? Buhari is dead. Herbert Yari is dead. Isa Funtua is dead. Simon Da is dead. Are you aware of that, all of you? Are you aware of that? No, you don't know. This war is being waged in the spiritual realm for some of you who don't understand. The reason why they have not announced the death of Mama and Daura is because they said if they announce it now, I will look for the next thing to come. Go and ask them in Abuja, that's what they're saying. Anybody who rises up to become the head of the cabal, you will die. You have an eternal curse placed on you. And Mama Daura is dead, of course he's dead. The entire cabal is dead. If you don't know, let me tell you. They're just playing games, playing.
All he has ever opened his mouth and said, this time is going to happen, all has happened. You accept that all has happened, but you refuse to accept that Biafra he prayed for has been redeclared, that we have to seek for recognition. He thought about Yemen, how they become a country. He also talked about how Syria become a country. In few days, we are going to look to their histories, how all these countries become country today, put in what we are doing already. Now, he said, oh, leave them. Their history is different. Our own is different. Masakan is telling you that we have to apply how these countries become country. How they made it. The three countries he mentioned here, you had it. He said this should be an example how Biafra should be a country out of Nigeria. He mentioned Somalia, Somaliland. How they got to where they are today, their country. He mentioned them. You see why I said, you know, never is no Igbo. No one or also Amara will can buy an order, come to Cassia, or Genebarampi Apoa. Because now, no do ever Barampina. Obruno or Ozo, Ama Cassia, poor Gene, Yelly Kene Banya Nord, come to Cassia, one boss. Unless we are poor Gele. The Basna, Obuni, Mother Bess, Uzes, J. Ben Merino. Gives Roken Pekle, Jukiru and Miri. This is our adage. This is our proverbs that we normally use. Never is no Bruma Tuzo seat, ne buze when pompite, Cagoron came and Sicanono. Fawesiana, no bino lobo kenye, Madane Gunadane Mobinolo. These are the words that we need to implement into what we are doing. We must look at how people achieved their country. We must look at the one that suits in this 21st century that we are into. We must look at from the old to the new so that we may understand how we can get this Biafra. It's not by internal problem. It can never stop it, because we look at what Master said here, that those intellectuals that they fought Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, that they are reason why that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu never understand that he need to transition into government in exile for him to achieve Biafra in his own time. He did not. The intellectuals set him back. Like all the intellectuals in IPOB set Master Kano back his movement to restore Biafra as a country. The intellectuals under Albert Obi, Simon Ekpanjoko, name them, you know them. You can mention their name in the comment section. Bryce Nokoma, Chioma Okoma, Ruby Nadi, all of them today. These are intellectuals that could not allow Simon Ekpa. They thought that they would end it all. But the same Chukwu Okabiama put those that will make him to move forward, not like those that set Master Kano down, those that set Odumegwu back, not to achieve Biafra as a country. These things has happened in the past. They are all example. They are all history. That's tomorrow, after everything, we are going to read out. And the issue is, how is history is going to remember you? All of you that are today fighting against USB declared, that you want to remain the way of anybody today is fighting against USB declared. They want us to remain the way Ojukwu remain his own time. They want us to remain under political pressure of IPOB. When Master can make 2 steps, they drag him back to 0 step. That is what they bring to come to Simon Ekpanjoko. But his own is different case because of what? Chukwu Okabiama put those people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you believe is your leader, said that when women in America joined the movement, that Biafra has been restored. And today, the mother of Biafra restored through a woman in America, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. Connect the dots. Remove your envy, remove your hatred, remove your jealousness, remove I was here before she or he came. It doesn't matter. Overtake is allowed. IPOB, Masobu, BGC, Tamna Ngom, Achakrating Gom Nine, Abagonu Chanine won't even does be in sea wage. What did he get? Where do not one moko, what in your only family? Many leaders that fought for the country, there was in prison under organization names. They all was arrested. They are India. The man who made it possible was not the one who declares it. He was arrested on the organization of IP, on the organization of the name of organization that India was used. The man who restored Bangladesh as a country was in prison. He was not the one who declares it. He started, but he never ended. The man who declares, the person that started the movement of Namibia in Africa was not the one who declared Namibia. The one who started the movement of Algeria as an organization. He was not the one who made it to become a country. He was in prison. The man who made what Kenya is today, Jomo Kenyatta, was in prison. Those outside achieved the country. I'm waiting for you not from us and Biafra. Nobody will bring Biafra. Deceive yourself as you like. Hey, if not for Simon, nobody will bring Biafra. Deceive yourself as you like. Because in the real sense, you never want Biafra to become a country. That is why you are doing your garbage. That is why. That is why you are not supporting. You want it to remain so you can feel relevant. You can look at yourself and say, yes, I am here. I am fighting for Biafra. Where in the actual sense of it, you are just only there to do what? You are only here to put yourself where you belong. For people to see you, come to you, call you on phone, thank you so much for this program. That is not why I'm here. I'm not here for program. I am here for us to understand why Biafra should be country. That's the reason why I'm here. Why we must support our peacefully declared. That is why I'm here. And today, the Biafra that was redeclared on November 20, 1924 is making a very big wave in the world. You may not understand because you are envy. Your hatred, your jealousness cannot allow you to see the good side. It can only do to be seen the bad side. Yes, coming down to our program, we will continue this voice, but in every program. I hope you heard it from us now, that the Oteletu has stopped Ojuku with the wife called Bianca. Oh no. The same way Oteletu has been stopping Mazakan to move forward. The same way. The same way, that is what we are seeing today. The same way they transitioned them to join Bridgie, to stop Simon from moving forward. When he moved one step, we want to draw him fall backwards. But look at it here. It could not happen because of what? That Chukwu Okabiama, going to Mazina Dekano, has destined that Biafra should be a country. That is why you choose the message you choose of Ngozi, not you. And that is why you are jealous. Your envy does not matter. What matters is that, is it doing the right thing? Yes. EXPOZZ USBG, repeating history of 6 groups that transition into government in exile. Today, they are country in the world. They are all countries in the world. 6 of them. How they transition from being a group, from being an organization. How did they transition into a government in exile? And from there, they issue declaration or redeclare. And what happened today? They achieve recognition in their own time. They are a country where you are, like Ireland, like Poland, like, go and check the history. Algeria in Africa. Namibia in Africa. Eritrea in Africa. Ethiopia in Africa. Kenya in Africa. Let me take that alone. For all this from Africa. When you go to Europe, Belgium was the first country ever that this world government in exile that used it to achieve recognition of their lost country. Poland was there, achieved their own. Ireland, where you are doing a 1 million men march, because you cannot describe how you could not unfollow it. But Master can give us an example that we should look at the history of Yemen. We should look at the history of Somalia or Somaliland. We look at the history of Syria. So from tomorrow, we are going to look at this history. You see why when people said, hey, we don't look at people's history, we don't copy people. You must copy people. Man said, oh, we must copy them. We must copy how they got to their country. And so that is the way we can destroy Nigeria. The way for Biafra to become a country, total recognition is not in your hand. It's not in my hand. It's in the hands of USB to present the packaging very well. That we are a government in exile. That this is a pure structure government of a nation that lost their fiscal territory, that want to gain it back. That is why they have exile government. That is why we have to win on paper before win on the ground. Like every other 27 countries I have been counting down to. If you count down this Yemen, if we got into the history of Yemen, Somalia, we get into the history of Syria. It's become 30 countries I give to you how they achieved their country. And in all of them, USB is copying these histories. Mazakam said that we need to look at how Yemen, imagine Syria, imagine Somaliland, how they become a country. Mazakam said that we should look at their history. What they did for them to become a country. Out of the colonial oppressors. Out of those that never allowed them to have their country. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about this message must be delivered. The message must choose those that will deliver at the final point. Not everybody. So, I want to welcome those in the comment section. As you join me, please, you are welcome. I will not ignore you. I must welcome you all. I want to start from the down, but let me start from the beginning. First come, first serve. That is how it's supposed to be. Today, my brother Ekeneze, you are there. Amaj, second today. Hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Uchenna, my brother. Hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Thank you. That is the code. Ahmad, finish it here. Hashtag, Nigeria must go. Biafra is a nation. Short word, I take them. Thank you for that. Hashtag, Nigeria must go out of Biafra land because Biafra is now a nation. Thank you. That is nice comment. Very simple. Good afternoon from homeland, my brother. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Yekime. Abarosia, where have you been? What happened to you? You come, you disappear. I hope you are good, my brother Abarosia, because I know you as one of those who follow this page all the time. Good morning, Biafra TV. May God continue to bless you for your effort. Please turn it into hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Please, endeavor to do that. That is the one that please my country, make me happy. Duty. Hashtag I am a citizen of the United States of Biafra and the zoo Nigeria must leave. The United States of Biafra. Hashtag. Thank you for that. Onaganaga Napandi Sabo. Hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Lead by Dr. Ngozi Arabeze. Redeclared 29th November 2024. Biafra my identity, Biafra my nation. Thank you for that. You always do that. Thank you. That's a nice one. Triple M. Hashtag I am a citizen of the United States of Biafra. That is all there. That is how he loves his country. When someone writes about his country, you will see how much he loves his country. Also says, greetings to you, Mazi Chinori, Biafra TV. Keep up the good work, the good job. One name, Mado. The message is really going far, and our people are really getting well. Okay, I don't believe that, honestly, because even the program I did yesterday up to now have just started something like, say, wow. Guys, can you hit the like button and share the broadcast widely? Thank you, 3 p.m. to remind our people to do that. Also said, we are really making wave all over the world today. Yes, so that is true. USB or nothing. Yes. Florence. Hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra USB. Hashtag Nigeria must go from the land of Biafra. Yes, you are right. That is our code. Thank you so much. Biafra, rejoice as our victory is assured. And it's very, very close, more than you think, for sure. For sure. That is, you finish the words. God bless Mazin Nandekano. God bless ESM Simon Hepa. God bless DP all her cabinet members. We the Genu Biafra citizens, love you. You all. Thank you. That requiem for that wonderful message. Barack. Okay, I am a citizen of the United States of Biafra, and the Operation Nigeria Must Go is active in the 40 states of Biafra land. Thank you, Mazishino, Mazinandekan, PM, DPM, and all Genu. We got to move. Please, if you never like, I only want you to like. We have to bring him up on the stage. Yes, Bebe Shuku, I see you. Thank you so much. Hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Biafra is again forever by our blessed mother, Dr. Ngozi Arabez. Hashtag Nigeria must go. Nice one. Thank you for that. That is nice one. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you for that. She is a nice one. Thank you. So, what we are here to do is the continuation of the program of yesterday about 6 organizations or 6 groups that the transition, all this group or this organization, they all transition into government in exile. And what happened? Today, they are all countries that are existing in this world. Said what? Today, they are all countries. They are not just on their own. They are all countries. Okay. I just laugh in Swahili. Oh, I had a day Ramma connected Mazina and the Kano PM and the continued and the connected herself as a number 3. Okay, no problem. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So let us listen like I normally do. I'm going to play some audio voice. Listen to it. The audio voice is part of what we are doing. Before I move, I see Chris Biafran's son. I see Easy Way, my brother, the powerful admin. I thank you so much for your good job on our page. You are doing awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So let us go into the program of today. So, direct, listen to this. Listen. First, the audio. After the audio, 2 times analysis join up.
To give you the most absolute
what you are going to listen to is to give the accurate number of some 6 organizations that transition into government in exile. The year of the organization and their protesting, and when they stop protests, transition to government in exile, when they issue declaration or redeclare, and how many years when they got recognition, and how many years it took them before they can be able to take over their territory. That is what we are doing today. So please pay very heavy attention.
Comprehensive historical record. We have to look globally at every major organization that successfully executed this exact sequence, originating as a political organization, liberation front or parallel parliament, transitioning into a formal government in exile, GIE, or provisional government.
Okay, please hold on. I don't know, this particular research has always been attacked whenever I want to play it. So I can play it from this side, but we are going to play it from the side of we are going to share the screen and play. So please, if you are hearing it, please, maybe I hook it up. I want you to confirm that the voice is coming out. Maybe I start playing it right now. So please pay attention and help me to prove that you are hearing the voice, because it cannot play from this side. That is the problem. So I am going to share the screen so we can be able to play it together. So look at the screen. So now I share the screen. So please, if you are hearing the audio, please let me know, please.
To give you the most absolute
can you hear the audio?
historical record,
Can someone
we have to
confirm
look
that I'm hearing
globally
it?
at every major organization that successfully executed
Is it
this
coming loud
exact
and clear?
sequence, originating as a political organization, liberation front, or parallel parliament, transitioning into a formal government in
Can
exile,
someone hear the
GIE,
audio?
or provisional government, issuing a peaceful declaration or redeclaration
Can
of
someone
sovereignty,
confirm
and
if the voice coming
successfully
loud and
leveraging
clear?
that transition to force the international community to grant them formal diplomatic recognition.
Okay.
Historically,
Peter,
this is an elite tier of statecraft. Here is the complete, detailed history of the organizations, the countries they represented, the exact years of their declarations, and how they practically executed this strategy. 1. The Czechoslovak National Council, Czechoslovakia, the country, Republic of Czechoslovakia. The organization, the Czechoslovak National Council, Československa Národní Rada, Year of Transition and Declaration, 1918. The history and practical execution. During World War I, the Czech and Slovak nations did not exist on a map. They were completely subsumed within the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In 1916, nationalist intellectuals led by Tomáš Masaryk, Edvard Benes, and Milan Stefanik formed a political advocacy group in Paris called the Czechoslovak National Council. To transition into a government, they realized they needed to show the world they could perform the primary duty of a state, defense. They organized Czech and Slovak prisoners of war and deserters across Europe into a highly disciplined military force of over 100,000 men, known as the Czechoslovak Legions, who fought alongside the Allied powers. The Declaration and Recognition. On October 18, 1918, Masaryk issued the Washington Declaration from Washington, D.C., a peaceful, highly sophisticated declaration of independence that outlined a democratic constitution, freedom of speech, and universal suffrage. Because the council had transitioned into an entity that commanded an active army and possessed an organized diplomatic corps, the United States, Great Britain, France, and Italy formally recognized the council as the de jure, legal government in waiting of Czechoslovakia before the empire even collapsed. When World War I ended weeks later, they marched in and took physical control of their newly recognized state. 2. The Dáil Éireann, Irish Volunteers, Ireland, the country, the Irish Republic, Sorstat Éireann, the organization, Dáil Éireann, the Parallel Parliament, and the Irish Volunteers. Year of Transition and Declaration, 1919. The history and practical execution. Following the 1916 Easter Rising, Irish nationalists moved away from scattered protests and targeted the British electoral system. In the December 1918 UK general election, the nationalist party Sinn Féin won a landslide victory across Ireland. Instead of traveling to London to sit in the British Parliament, the elected officials staged a peaceful political mutiny. They gathered in Dublin on January 21, 1919, and transitioned themselves into a revolutionary, parallel parliament called the First Dáil Éireann. The Declaration and Recognition. On that exact day, the Dáil issued 3 historic, peaceful documents: the Declaration of Independence, a message to the free nations of the world, and the Democratic Program. They formally declared the Irish Republic and transitioned the parliament into a fully functioning underground government in exile operating within occupied territory. They set up a parallel court system, Dáil courts, that completely bypassed British judges, successfully collected national taxes, and sent diplomatic envoys abroad. While Britain tried to suppress them by force during the Anglo-Irish War, the Russian Soviet Republic formally recognized the Irish Republic in 1920, and the sheer administrative success of the Dáil forced Great Britain to sign the Anglo-Irish Treaty in 1921, recognizing the Irish Free State. 3. The National Liberation Front, GPRA, Algeria, the country, Democratic and Popular Republic of Algeria. The organization, National Liberation Front, Front de Libération Nationale, FLN, Year of Transition and Declaration, 1958. The history and practical execution. For nearly 30 years, Algerian organizations engaged in peaceful civil protests demanding equal rights from France. France systematically ignored them, asserting that Algeria was not a colony but a permanent, legal province of metropolitan France. In 1954, the movement pivoted, organizing under the FLN to launch an active war of liberation. By 1958, the FLN realized that military guerrilla warfare alone could not defeat a global superpower. They needed to strip France of its legal monopoly over Algerian identity. On September 19, 1958, the FLN leadership met in Cairo, Egypt, and formally transitioned their revolutionary organization into a state apparatus, the Provisional Government of the Algerian Republic, GPRA. The Declaration and Recognition. The GPRA immediately issued a peaceful declaration of statehood to the international community. They organized a formal cabinet of ministers, headed by Farhat Abbas, and established highly sophisticated, functioning parallel ministries for foreign affairs, information, and finance based in Tunis and Cairo. The strategy was an immediate diplomatic masterstroke. Within weeks, over 30 countries, including Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Tunisia, China, and the Soviet Union, granted formal diplomatic recognition to the GPRA. The GPRA then signed the Geneva Conventions, legally forcing the international sovereign states rather than a domestic French policing matter. This international recognition forced France to the negotiating table, culminating in the 1962 Evian Accords and full territorial independence. 4. The Palestine Liberation Organization, Palestine, the country, the State of Palestine. The organization, the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, Year of Transition and Declaration, 1988. The history and practical execution. Founded in 1964, the PLO operated for decades as a liberation movement representing the Palestinian population under occupation and in the global diaspora. While the United Nations and the Arab League recognized the PLO as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, it did not possess the formal status, legal rights, or diplomatic privileges of a sovereign state government. The Declaration and Recognition. To elevate their status under international law, the PLO convened a historic session of the Palestinian National Council in Algiers. On November 15, 1988, Chairman Yasser Arafat read the Palestinian Declaration of Independence, a peaceful proclamation that established the State of Palestine. With this declaration, the PLO formally transitioned its executive committee into the provisional government in exile of the State of Palestine. The structural transition dramatically altered their international standing. Within days of the peaceful declaration, over 80 countries formally extended full diplomatic recognition to the newly declared government in exile. This massive wave of global recognition forced the opening of direct, official diplomatic channels with Western nations, ultimately paving the legal path for the Oslo Accords, the establishment of the Palestinian National Authority, and the current reality where over 140 UN member states formally recognize the State of Palestine. 5. The National Coalition Government of the Union of Burma, Burma, Myanmar, the country, Union of Burma, Myanmar, the organization, National Coalition Government of the Union of Burma, NCGUB, Year of Transition and Declaration, 1990. The history and practical execution. In May 1990, the citizens of Burma voted in a democratic general election. The National League for Democracy, NLD, led by Aung San Suu Kyi, won a crushing landslide victory, securing over 80, confused to honor the democratic mandate, arrested the leadership, and barred the newly elected parliament from ever convening. The Declaration and Recognition. Refusing to let the democratic mandate be erased, a core group of the legally elected members of parliament managed to escape the capital, navigating through the jungles to the border regions and into neighboring Thailand. On December 18, 1990, in the town of Marnarpla, they executed a formal political transition, forming the National Coalition Government of the Union of Burma, NCGUB, and issuing a peaceful declaration of legitimate state continuity. They appointed Dr. Sein Win as Prime Minister and set up external administrative offices across the globe. While geopolitical blocs by neighboring superpowers prevented them from taking Burma's physical seat at the UN, the NCGUB achieved an incredibly vital tier of international recognition. The European Parliament, the United States government, Norway, and several only legitimate political and administrative representative of the Burmese people, funding their global diplomatic legations for 22 years until they strategically dissolved in 2012 during domestic democratic openings. Summary timeline of sovereign transitions. Year of DEC. Country represented. Transitioning organization. Type of recognition achieved 1918. Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovak National Council. Full de jure recognition territory was physically secured. 1919. Ireland. Sinn Féin, First Dáil Éireann. International treaty-making recognition, forced Great Britain to negotiate statehood. 1958. Algeria. National Liberation Front, FLN, GPRA. Widespread recognition from 30-plus Afro-Asian and Soviet states, internationalized the war. 1988. Palestine. Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. Widespread global recognition, currently 143 UN member states, elevated to non-member observer state status. 1990. Burma, Myanmar, elected parliamentarians, NCGUB. Formal democratic recognition and institutional funding from Western nations and the EU. The Universal Blueprint for Success. If you look at the entire arc of global history, the organization followed a very strict administrative formula. Mirrored the exact infrastructure of a state, constitutional mandate. They always based their transition on a clear legal foundation, either a sweeping democratic election victory, Ireland, Burma, or a unified, undisputed national mandate, Czechoslovakia, Algeria, Palestine. The ministry stack, they abandoned the loose structure of an activist group and formed structured, professional cabinet portfolios, ministries of foreign affairs, finance, and justice, that foreign diplomats could interact with using standard diplomatic protocols. Meticulous record keeping. They proved their sovereignty by managing data. They maintained comprehensive, encrypted registries of their citizens, issued formal identification credentials, and collected resources globally, proving to the world that their state identity was alive, organized, and entirely independent of physical geography.
I hope you followed the program. And also, I hope that you followed and listened carefully to the program. Why do I play the audio for you? It's for you to, today, I decided to, how we, the people of Biafra, how we have to look at some countries, how they transition and how they become a country. And I bring you all this because we have many organizations claiming they are fighting for Biafra for you. And from this, you can sincerely tell yourself the truth without bitterness of mind. That's what was being mentioned here. There is 3 words that I want us to focus on it. The organization, the name, the organization name first, the transition into government in exile, issue redeclare or issue declaration. These 3 words are what is area that I want us to focus on today's program. Then you are not focusing on it because of, that it's because of, for you to see those that the world see as a government in exile, and the line, the criteria, the template, the rule that they followed that leads to the world seeing them as a country in exile and giving them recognition, asking them when they do not control any fiscal territory to sign treaty and sign Geneva Convention laws. These are the areas that I want you, as we are moving, to keep your mindset towards that. And when you keep your mindset towards that, and from the time they stop their protests and the transition to government in exile, and today, all these 6 countries, they did not start with the name of country. Those that lost it, like Ireland, like Czechoslovakia, they issued redeclared of their lost country. People like Pakistan, people like Algeria, people like Namibia issued it for the first time. And what happened? They use organization first. The name of the organization was not determined that this is the name of the country. But they used the organization to do a right thing, proving that we want a country, that we never want to be. And look at a time they all transitioned into a government in exile and issued what the Biafran people, through Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, issued on November the 29th, 2024, to prove that now we are a country. That for now that we don't control our physical territory, like people of Namibia, people of Algeria, people of Czechoslovakia, people of Ireland, people of Pakistan, and people of Myanmar. These are those that lost their physical territory until they remain in exile and issue the re-declared of their country or declaration of their country. And today, they all remain in exile without controlling 1 inch of their territory, and they are a country today. There was never a time they said you must control physical control of 20%, 80% before the world organize you. What makes you an exile government is that you lost your territory, and the territory is no longer conducive for you to continue asking for the country you lost. For you to maintain that, you must transition into exile. And you had it here that all these 6 countries, they all transition into exile. And you think that our own case is different? It's different in a way, but in all, you that remain under IPOB structure, you that remain under BRIGI, you that remain under BGC, CRC, Government Council, all of you are the one that makes it look different, and the world is laughing at all of you. Now we move to our analysis. We are going to be playing and pause. We will not play 2 times because of our time. We are going to be playing it because it's a long program. Pause it and do what? Analyze it briefly. So let's give the audio chance first to play. So from there, we take it up from there. Now, I don't understand the attack on this page anymore. It's becoming unbearable, seriously. You see, you don't want to play from anywhere at all. But it must play because we must use it. So for those doubting Tamos, to know that we are not doing a hookup story. What we are doing here is what Chukwu Okabiama asked us to do, and how we can, you and I, we understand that what we are looking for is a country, not any other thing. Honestly, the audio refused to play, but we must continue. Yes, coming into here, decided this way. What is my question? My question is, I want all the histories of all the organizations that transition into government in exile and issue peaceful declaration or declaration and achieved international recognition because of the transition into government in exile and issue peaceful redeclaration, or the declaration in what year and in what name of organization. So listen to this. Please like and share the program. If you think that you can like and share it, I'm not forcing you to do that. So we must continue. We refresh. Let us see if the audio we play once again before we move. Let us find out. Wow, what is this? Why so much attack? Why so much? Please, 1 minute. Let me check this side. No way. Because you are looking for Biafra. The Biafra you are looking for, people has never looked for their country before. People have never lost war before and get their country back. As they lost war, they did how other countries achieve their country. Well, to give the most absolutely comprehensive history record, we have to look globally at every major organization that successfully execute the exact question. Original organizations as a political movement, liberation front, or parallel government, transitioned into a former government in exile, professional government, issue peaceful declaration or re-declaration of a sovereignty, and successfully transition to force the international community to grant them a formal diplomatic recognition. People that have in the past have the name of organization. The IPOB is not the first organization in the world that's claiming that they are fighting to get a lost country back. The number one people that they give us here as an example is the example of Czechoslovakia. The country, the Republic of Czechoslovakia, the organization, they use organization of the organization CEKOSV as the name of the organization they use. According to what? The organization, the Czechoslovakia National Council use it. That is the name of the organization they use to get their lost country back. Yes, the transition and the declaration of their lost country, 1918. Now, in the history, this man or this country called Czechoslovakia, that is a country today, I have made you to understand they use what? The name of organization start first. They ended up by doing a transition into a government in exile. Now, the history, during the World War I, the Czech and Slovakia nations did not exist on a map. They were completely snubbed with the oppressor that's never allowed them to be a country. In 1916, the nationality led by Thomas Mascara and Milan Stevic formed a political advocacy group in Paris, called it Czechoslovakia National Council, government in exile. They all formed their government in exile. Czechoslovakia and Czech Republic lost in their country. They transitioned out from their territory, then enter into France in Paris and form a full government in exile. They did what? They formed a full government in exile. In where? In France. You see all these big countries that they help their people when their people was in the need. But when it's come to Africa, it's of recent that I know how many countries today, about 5 organizations that want to exit from their former country. Today, they have the government in exile in France. It's not today. So this Czechoslovakia, Remember, year of transition and declaration, 1918. They have organization they used, and I have pronounced the name of the organization. Now, what happened? When they lost their territory in the hands of Hungary Empire and their cohorts, they left their territory, run to France in Paris, and issued the declaration of their lost country in the hands of Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1916. They lost their country in 1916. Then in 1918, they redeclared their country. When they traveled, leave their territory, have their headquarters in Paris, in France. And there was declare Jews government in exile. They did not continue answering the name of the organization. They transitioned into, within 2 years of their protests, they now transition into government in exile. Inside the 2 years, they transition into government in exile. And when what happened when they transition into government in exile, they issued the redeclared or redeclaration of Czechoslovakia as a country, and the leader of the organization they was using, and start answering Republic of Czechoslovakia. And what happens? To transition into government in exile, they realized they did not need to show the world they could perform the primary. To transition into government in exile, they realized they needed to show the world they could perform the primary duty of a state after they have declared it. That is why they declare it. They declare their sovereignty back. The organization of Czech and Slovakia, personalized of war and direct across Europe into a highly disciplined military force to overwhelm 1 million men, known as the Czechoslovakia Legion, who fought alongside Allies' power. Over 1 million men of Czech, the Czech Republic you know today, Czechoslovakia you know today, that their people form over 1 million men that was fighting against the government in exile of Czechoslovakia. Now, do you see what's bring it this 1,000 men that are people of Czech Republic you know today, Czechoslovakia you know today? There are people, over 1 million men was fighting against the exile government of Czech and Slovakia that's based in France, Paris precisely, and also in the London. Their people was fighting against them. Their own people. Like the way you see our people today fighting against USB declared. The same thing Czechoslovakia and the Czech did in 1918 is what we did. That's why I said that if Ojukwu, not that the intellectuals and the evil woman could not allow Ojukwu to transition, immediately he lost the war and he ran to Ivory Coast. When Czech and Slovakia lost their country, they transitioned into a government in exile. 2 years, protest and issue redeclared of Czech and Slovakia as a country in their region. Where is this government of Czech and Slovakia? And where did this particular declaration happen? They redeclared of Czech Republic you know today and Czechoslovakia happened in Paris and London, but moreover in Paris. Like we traveling to Finland because our prime minister is living in Finland. So the main leader of Czechoslovakia and Czech lives in where? They live in London. sorry, they live in France, and they have to travel to France for them to issue a redeclare of their lost country. In 1918, over 1 million men of Czech and Slovakia was fighting with the allies, the enemies, against their own people. Is it not what is happening here today? It's not why you see Gaddafi. This is not why you see Caterpillar them doing their rubbish. The history is repeating all around. Caterpillar used his men to fight against USB redeclared. Is it not true? All these people today who is not under USB, what they are doing, they are fighting against USB. Like these people having 1 million men fighting against their own people. Now the question is, this 1 million men who is fighting against the Czechoslovakia government and Czech, do they stop recognition of these two countries? The answer is no. When it's due time, as the world is watching them, how they are, the government in exile of Czech and Slovakia is handling this 1 million men that is against them. In due time, they grant them recognition. I am going to prove a year that the recognition of Czechoslovakia and Czech happened. Now, we continue. The redeclaration and the recognition. Now, listen. On October 18, 1918, Massacre issued the Washington, D.C. Declaration issued the Washington Declaration, like what we did on November 20, 2024 in Helsinki, Finland, from Washington, D.C. A peaceful, highly redeclared declaration of independence of a sovereign nation that outlined on that day, they are also present their constitution of Czech and Slovakia on a day of our peacefully declared in Helsinki, Finland. Did you not see when our DPM, after our redeclared, introduced Biafra Constitution? They said here that that the government, that those that represent or the government of Czech and Slovakia on Washington, D.C., also on that day of the declaration on October 18th, 1918, they presented in the eyes of the Washington, D.C., the constitution, their domestic constitution. Is it not exactly what will happen in Finland? Did you not see that tell me, did you not see that in Finland? Am I the only one who see that our DPM presented the Biafra constitution that is in Amazon today, like what people of Czech and Slovakia did in their own time, in October 18, 1918. Now, what happened? Listen. Freedom of speech is allowed on that day and unveiled several packages of the declaration because the council has transitioned into an entity that commands an active army and the process of organizing diplomatic recognition. The United States, Great Britain, France, and Italy formally recognized the council as the due legal government in waiting of Czechoslovakia before the empire even collapsed. As they declare it on October 18, 1918, because of the declaration happened in America, in Washington, D.C., in that hall is where people of Czechoslovakia issued their declaration. After that, America, Great Britain, France organized them. That these are the sovereign, these are the ethnic government of this sovereign new, the old state that was lost, that have redeclared and become a new country. America, Great Britain, France, and more of them grant them recognition after they have declared it. Through what? By government in exile. The government in exile is based in Paris, America, and London. You see, if you know that Finland is corrupt, the first country that's supposed to organize us is supposed to be Finland. If not that, they are evil. The corrupt in Finland is top notch with this dry-faced, thick man called Alexander Stubb. The racist governor, the racist president that the world need to sanction. Instead of him to do the needful. Instead of him to do what France, America, and London give to give to people of the gift. That is a gift of organizing them in their own time. Instead of Finland to organize Biafra, what they did is to arrest our leader, our prime Simon Ebanjoko. When America, when France, when London refused to arrest their own people, the people of Czechoslovakia, they refused, but they supported them. And instead of Finland to do that, they colluded with Nigeria to arrest our prime minister. And think that the case will end. They never knew how mad that we are in this 21st century to make sure that Biafra becomes a country. They never knew. Now I have given number one, Czechoslovakia. Now we are coming to the direct of Ireland, where they are doing 1 million members. Showing you. Yeah, if I have it on my phone, let me check. Let me check. I wish I saved that video because the phone is always so. I do normally delete some things quickly so I can be able to have my space. Because what this phone is collecting in a day is bigger than the phone. Honestly, what this phone is collecting in a day is bigger than my phone. So I'm gonna check if that video, yes, is still here. See them, because call these people in Ireland, let them come. Call that people in Ireland and come, because we are about to read the history of Ireland, where you are doing 1 million men march. Look at them. I hope you can hear this. Yes. God, if these people in Ireland, please. I don't know. This attack is coming too much these days. They attack the website. They attack everything. In the IPOB in Ireland, IPOB, live and direct. We are doing 1 million men march. Yes. 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 This is how Ireland got their country back when they lost it. This is all for 14 years. This is all for 14 years. Now, let us go to the island. I am not from Ireland, so I can only spell what they, I can't pronounce what they put here because I'm not speaking their language they use and when they transition. Listen to this. Irish transition after they lost their country. The name of the organization is DAIL EIREALL is the name of the, yes, that island you use. I mean, the island is the island of St. Patrick. Ireland. Ndị a nọ na island eme 1 million march. IPOB, one family. Is it how Ireland, when they lost their country, is it how they got their country? Please, if you can touch this emoji of love, please, because as I'm talking to you, we are under social attack. Some message is being deleted from the comment section. As I'm telling you, even the app I am used to do research is under, the audio can no longer play. It's under attack. The network is okay. Because if network, it will be showing me red, but network is purely on blue. So it's from the studio. So please, if you can help me to just touch the emoji love to prove to the YouTube, to those that are attacking, that people are watching the program, please help me and do that. Please, it's very important at this stage. Help me to touch the emoji. Please, yes, I can see Biafrans doing that. Thank you so much. So let us see if some message will move. There is something that got my attention here before we move. Okay, I'll read it from here because of I have a share. Ekwem, my man, he said, some of our people think that people poison our freedom today will like the people in Masov and like people in Masov and DOS cabinets are men and the women of honor. Yes, that is it. That is it. You see this message of Equem Justice is being delayed, but look at when you start touching the emoji log, then the message start pumping out again. So please endeavor to do that sometime for the movement to continue. Now, the country, the Island Republic, Santos, the government in exile of Ireland remove the name DA. They use the name DAIL to start the movement. They transitioned into a full government in exile, 1919. The same year the transition is the same year the issue redeclared of Ireland as a country because they lost it in the hands of Eliza. You know who is Eliza? Britain. They lost it. Now, let's see fully what happened. The history of movement of Ireland, the organization name, and the year of transition and redeclaration and recognition. Following the 1916 Eastern Rising, Irish nationality moved away from their territory, moved away from scattering protests on the streets. Irish moved away from doing protests on the streets, and they targeted the British electric system. In December 1918, the UK general election, the nationality party of Irish won. Instead of traveling to London to sit in the British Parliament, they elected officials of a peaceful political movement by using the name of the organization DAIL, and in January 21st, 1919, and they transitioned themselves into a full government in exile, and they stopped using the organization to represent their people. Rather, they used government in exile to represent their people. Now, on the exact day, the DAIL issued documents and handed it over to transition into a government in exile that issued a peaceful declaration of independence of Ireland. Before this peaceful redeclared of Ireland, they have stopped protests. They stopped their protests they was using before in January 21st, 1919. They stopped protests. Then, what happens? In 1920, they issued, remember that they started from 1916, 19 to 1919. From 1916 to 1919 is the time of using a name of organization to be doing all their protests. Then, January 20, they stopped protest movement and the transition into government in exile. As they transition to government in exile, then 1921, they did what? They issued a peaceful redeclaration of Ireland that they lost in the hands of Britain. And they moved into diplomatic action after they have redeclared it. Waited on a day that Ireland is doing their election. And what happened? They present themselves and tell them, we have issued our declaration, we have redeclared it, that is a time for recognition. And the public of Russia organizes Ireland. Remember that they stop protests before the as they stop their protests, they now transition into government in exile. Their own transition is just 1916, 1917, 1918, 1990, 4 years. After 4 years, they find out that there is no way this protest can give them, that we trigger recognition of them that lost their country, that the world will announce that, or recognize that now you people are a country because of protest of 4 years, and they stop. 2020, January, everything about protests ended. They transitioned to government in exile. 2021, they issue redeclaration of their lost country. As they redeclared their country, Russia was the first country to recognize them, with the Soviet Union recognizing them. In 2021, this is how the island, where you are doing 1 million men march for 14 years. Now, calculated from 1916 to 1921 of Ireland, how many years? How many years? Please, if you are following. From 1916 to 1921, is it how many years? Ireland, where you are today, doing 1 million men march for 14 years, becomes a country. Under how many years? Please, someone help me in the comment section. From 1961 to 1921, how many years that Ireland fought against British and their country? You hear that word, that they stop protests and transition into a government structure in exile. In London, in Paris, this France we are seeing today, many people use it to achieve their country, and they quickly recognize them. Also, they transition into Russia. See how island, where you are doing 1 million men march, become a country. And you are there doing 1 million men march. And that is how you think that Biafra should be a country. And you want them to recognize you. And for them that stop protests, they are fool. They think that they are foolish like you, that are doing 1 million men march. And you want them to recognize, call you a country. They told us here in this research that Ireland, they stop protests, move out of street, prove a government structure, and on that, they got recognition from first country, Russia, in 1921. Please remember the question. From 1916 to 1921, how many years? I want you to put, so those in the island, they can understand, can see. And you have from 2012 to 2026, it has become 14 years of your protests without nothing. Under the name of DOS structure, command and control. It never happened anywhere before. Mazakano said that we should check the history of Yemen. And we're going to go through it tomorrow. These three countries, Mazakano mentioned how they become a country. We are going to go through it and find out again. We will add it from this 27 to make it 30. So you can, if that one is not enough for you, you can get out transformer. Now, we have coming down now to Africa. Remember, we have used through in Europe. We have used Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, and again, the island movement, the island transition, the island transition. Now, they draw us down to Africa. And Africa, they merge two together. Who are those two? They merge the National Liberation Front of GPRA and of Algeria is what they merge together. Now, the Algeria people use organization called GPRA, the National Liberation Front. The country and the Popular Republic of Algeria. The organization, National Liberation Front, Front de Liberation National, FLN. Years of transition and the declaration. 1958, the game started. The game of what? Algeria. Listen. For nearly 30 years, Algeria organized, engaged in peaceful civil protests demanding equal rights from France. France systematically ignored them, like the way Nigeria is ignoring IPOB with their protests. France systematically ignored Algeria with the name GPRA as the name of the organization they are using. Like today, the way Nigeria ignored all the IPOB organization. Asserting that Algeria was not a colonial but a Panamint, legal previews of multiple France, that they are trying to destroy France, that these people are not a country, they are not colonial master, so they can never be a country. Now listen, in 1954, the movement provided organization under FLA to launch an active war of liberation. Like when you have IPOB, you have ESN. This FLA is the name of the organization that's the name of the arm wing of people of Algeria. Why GPRA is a civil organization that are human, that those are not into armed struggle, but they're the same people. By 1958, the FLN realized that military guerrilla warfare alone could not defeat a global superpower. For you that want us to go and knocking on the street, Algeria realized that this can never allow them to, that they can never win if they want to continue on the level of Woto against France. They said that they have to stop that. Now what happens? Listen, they needed to, they needed to beat France of its legal monopoly over Algeria identity. Now, the people of Algeria, they dropped the armed struggle. Now what happened? September 1958, the FLN leadership met in Cairo, Egypt, and formally transitioned into a full government in exile. Provisional government of Algeria Republic, GPRA. They now transition. Now, the GPRA, now the government in exile, September 1955. The GPRA now has entered into brackets. And the name out is what? Algeria Republic. Like what USB is representing today. Now, let's continue. Please continue to like and share the program. I don't know why you don't want to like the program, why you're watching the program. Please, I ask you to like and share the program if you can. Please. It's important because when you like and continue commenting, it's making YouTube to be flagging up, to push the message up so people can see the message and listen to it. That is why once you come, you like. It doesn't move anything from your internet. Why are you stingy of just hitting that like button? Even for you to share is a problem. Or you like one, it's a problem. Oliver also, very long time. You're welcome. I see you. Good bad boy. I see you. Thank you so much. I see you. Now, when the transition into government in exile, what happened? Listen. The GPRA immediately issued peaceful declaration of a statehood to the international community. The organization from the cabinet, the organized cabinets of the ministers handed by the Abubas and establishing a highly functioning private ministers for the foreign affairs, information, and the financial basis, Tunisia and the Cairo, Egypt. This organization, they now leave the name organization because they have done what? They have transitioned into government in exile. And everything under the organization is being moved straight away. Everything under organization has automatically changed as the government of the people. They now put the name GPRA into a bracket. And the name Republic of Algeria start to work. Why they put it back? This is an organization we are using. Before we now transition to government in exile, that's a government of a lost country, a government of new declared country that lost their territory in the hands of oppressor. They never declare and fall back and still continue answering GPRA. No, they start answering government in exile and seeking for diplomatic recognition of the country they are representing. And because of they are using the name of their country, proving that this government is not a government of organization, it is a government of a country, the world sees them as the legitimate government to organize for people of Algeria as Republic of Algeria government, a country government, not organization government. They never fall back. In Africa, Algeria move forward. Transition into a country government, not into a country organization and remain there. No, they move. Now, the strategy was an immediate diplomatic milestone. Within a week, a week is 7 days, within a week, there is something that triggers this Algeria because of what? They drop one, protests on the street. Two, they drop armed struggle. They are no longer knocking France because they said, we can't defeat France no matter what happened. Even though that France is in our territory, threat of Nigeria. That is in our territory. That's where we have common the same border. France will use flight to come Did Nigeria need flight to enter Biafran territory? Nigeria, do they need flight to enter into our territory? The answer is no. They don't have to. Delay can push them in. If Algeria can say, okay, they know that are coming with a flight, we cannot fight them anymore. Let us drop armed struggle. Let us drop them of organization. Let us join government in exile. Let us work on diplomatic level. Let us have a foreign minister affairs. Let us have minister of information. Let us have a office of finance and all of them. And they did that. Today, Algeria is a country. When they're doing all what happened, when they're doing all these things, listen. After they have issued the declaration, remember, after they issued the declaration, for them to work over 30 years, it took Algeria from organization to 4 years protest, to declaration, to recognition. It took them 30 years before Algeria will travel down to take their own territory. It took Algeria 30 years in exile. Where is the exile headquarters? In Cairo, Egypt, and Tunisia is their exile headquarters, where they are commanding their people and telling them what to do. I hope you are following. I hope it's getting clear to you that it's only USBG declared is the one. Now, the GPRA that transitioned to government in exile. Now, the government in exile is the one that issued the declaration of Algeria, is the one that you organize. Listen, after they have issued their declaration through a government in exile, within 1 week, over 30 countries, including Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Tunisia, China, and Soviet Union, grant them formal diplomatic recognition as a name of a country, not as a name of organization. The GPRA remain in brackets, while Republic of Algeria is the purely name. Why the Republic of Algeria is the real name that they are using, not GPRA as organization. Please, 1 minute. My brother Chinedu, please, I am looking for your number because that number you have is no longer moving. So after the program, maybe, I don't know how I will get your number back. But Chinedu, please, my brother, if I miss you here, I won't see you again. Check me out on this number. Chinedu, please take your phone and get this number. Plus, that is my number that I use on my platform here, so easily open. The number is +9 7 3 3 60 51 337. I hope you are listening. I hope you are listening. +9 7 3 60 51 337. If you get the number, let me know you get the number. That is where you will get me, my brother, please. In fact, something happened. Not something I was spend on live program, but that is the number to reach me out. Now, the government of Republic of Algeria, in the name of their country, now sign words. The government in exile of Algeria, in the name Republic of Algeria, now signed the Geneva Convention and Treaty, legal, forcing the international community to recognize the conflict as an international war between two sovereign states, instead of seeing it as a domestic France police matter. That is not a France matter. It's not internal matter. Why is it not internal matter? Because of what? Because they have issued the declaration and the countries have recognized them over 7 days. Over 7 days. Do you know why it's like that? Okay, the number is +9 7 3 3 If you get the number, let me know, because you know why we need to talk. So, meanwhile, they have done what? Declaration. Now, which group that transition into government in exile, or which organization? The GPRA. After the GPRA has issued the fully declaration of Namibia, the government of France sponsored 5 different groups again to attack the government of Algeria, that GPRA, that is in exile in Cairo, Egypt. This government is in exile in Cairo, Egypt. They stay in exile for 30 good years in all for them to have Algeria as a country. They spend what? 30 good years in all. And in our own case, in all, after we have lost Biafran War, we have spent 59 years. By next year, even some months, is going to be maximum 60 years. What took Algeria? What took Namibia? It took Algeria 30 years. They protest for 4 years. Minus 30. Sorry, minus 4 from 30. It's not 26 remain. Instead of 26, they issued their declaration. You know, they stopped the protest. As they issued their declaration, what happened? They stay in exile for 26 years. In all, 26 after the protest. If you minus 4 years out of 30, it remains 36, right? Out of these 36, out of the 26, they remain in exile. After the 26 was completed, they still remain, they still in exile extra 2 years, which is 32 years before Algeria can come back and take over their physical territory. For you, you must say, as I said, you have to get 90% of your territory. If you can be able to get to your 50%, you don't need anybody's help. So the number is +9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. That is the number. +9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. That is the number. Supposed to get this number by now. Please. Because now I'm on live pro and I was waiting to see you on live. So there's a check on Facebook. I couldn't get you on Facebook. So now if you check all these years, even that Algeria spent total of 32 good years for them to achieve their country from the hands of France. Namibia spent maximum 30 in all. You see the process. The process is what? Transition into a government in exile. The government in exile, the world know, is the one that issue a peaceful declaration, or the one that peacefully declare the lost one back. Is the one the world know. There is no two. Every other organization after US declared is being sponsored by Nigeria. France sponsored 5. South Africa sponsored 7 to destroy Namibia, government in exile that based in Angola, Zambia, and Tanzania. Now, are we the first people in this world that have tried to use organization to achieve a country? Are we with this, my people? Are we the first people? And look at all these histories. They all transition. They all did what? They all focus on peaceful. Algeria dropped their own after 4 years of knocking water on the street. They said, this our method of guerrilla warfare cannot help us. That we cannot use this to defeat France. The same thing Namibia said, we can use this to defeat South Africa. That we need to go on peace way to meet the international community for them to come to help us. And what happened? They got recognition. Today, they are all country. She knows, have you got the number? I'm waiting to see a message confirm you have got this number. You know why it's important. So, my people, now let us continue. They signed, the Republic of Algeria government-in-exile signed Geneva Convention, legally forcing the international community to recognize the conflict as an international war between two sovereign states, instead of seeing it as a domestic France policy matter. This international recognition forced France to the negotiation table. That's what the recognition is what forced France to negotiation. The same way recognition of Namibia also forced South Africa into negotiation. You don't use gun and blade to confront them. You use waiting for other countries to recognize you and back you up. Then it will now, if this recognition of Algeria could force almighty, powerful France to the negotiation table in 1962, having accord and the full territorial independence take a place after 32 years in exile. Now that we have gotten it right, under USB declared that is repeating this history, I am asking you, how many years of USB declared? And what are they doing? What is the USBG is doing? When Nigeria was doing, I don't know what in Nigeria. I have given you how many numbers of people that was being paid. I have given you that particular exposition. I have made it here. People of Algeria, how many that was arrested, how many that was kidnapped, and those that cannot give account of them. And I must also prove to you that Algeria has 9 groups. 8 after their declaration. Namibia has 8 after their declaration. This is what happens in history. And all this organization today is against USB and is making noise. They are all repeating that the same history of those that sabotage their people. This is what it just simply means. And you are here after this program, you continuously talking about bridge, talking about BGC, talking about CRC. You are wasting your time. You can never make it. And you cannot delay USB to recognition because all these groups never stop the recognition of all these countries as we have been mentioning here. Now, let us move to another country. Let us move to another country. I have given you island history here. How they transition into France. They stop protests. Transition government in exile. Issue declared of their country and war for diplomatic recognition, an island become a country. Not by protests, not by 1 million members. The Palestinian Liberation Organization, Palestina, the country, the state of Palestina, the organization, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO is what Palestina you know today use in their own time. Are you the only one who has ever used the organization to achieve for a country? Are you only the one? In as IPOB, in as a fallback, in as a BGC, in as a Kenokwa, Umokoko. Mad people everywhere. And the intellectuals, Bryce Nokoma, Shiomoko. I want somebody to get me a country where Bryce and Shiomoko is. I want to read their history, please. Who knows the country where they reside? I want to check how their country got their independence and send it to them. Because n'okwu Chineke ga-emezu. Chineke sị na ya were amamihe nke bara uru so na ihe ndị gụrụ oke akwụkwọ ma were ya nye mmadụ nke nwere ihe ọ bụ ka ọ bụrụ onyinye nke Chineke nyere mmadụ ahụ. Chineke were amamihe nke eji nweta Biafra zụla ihe ndị otu lechu asụ ya n'ụwa niile. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that we must repeat the history of Yemen. That we must repeat the history of Somalia. That we have to repeat the history of all these countries. Oh, they live in US. Arumekwa. Hello, Chika. It's never having a US. And the history is repeating now. That no wonder. With Madam, I don't know where to go to Fulani. The history is repeating. That state where Madam Anou is living was among those that only that state volunteer 150 that signed that never want America to be a country. So the history is repeating on the side of all these people. The history is repeating in a way that those that never want America to be a country that signed, they deny that they never want America to be a country. The history is here repeating. Why do you panic? One thing that always give me a very strong mind, one that we are on the right track. On the right track is not just from mouth. On the right track, it means on the legal aspect of what we are doing. On the continuity of lost, proving that this is a lost country. The 500 of America that is signed that they never want America to be a country. 500 signed that we don't want America to be a country. These 500 never win against 55. Sorry, against 56. 56 intercontinental congressmen, only mkpụrụ mmadụ 56. Iri ise na isii sọsọ fanwa sign n'akwụkwọ America bụrụ a country. Ndị ọzọ niile have proven to you that over 80,000 run away from America. They never come back till today. It's going to happen. The punishment. We will use Biafra Constitution to question all of you. I am here to prevent you from crying had I know, because all of you will cry. The history is repeating. Now, back to the history of Palestine. The country, the state, Palestine. The organization, the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. Years of transition and declaration. 1988. People has achieved country after we lost our own. The history. Founding in 1964, the PLO pretend for a decade as a liberation movement representing the Palestinian population under occupation and the global diaspora. You see it, they are in outside. They are not in their land. They are not in their land. They are we outside. Why the United Nations and the Arab League recognizes the PLO as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people? It did not process the former state legal right or diplomatic privilege of a sovereign state government that lost their country through a government in exile. I hope you had it here. Palestine. Now, the declaration, the what? The declaration and the recognition. Remember the word declaration. After declaration, you now talk about recognition. to elevate the status under international law, the PLO convenes the historical section of the Palestinian National Council in alliance on November 15, 1988. November 15, 1988, the government in exile of the Palestine issued a peaceful declaration of independence. They issued what? A peaceful what? Declaration of independence of sovereignty of Palestine that you know today. A peaceful proclamation that established the state of Palestine. Within this declaration, the PLO formally transitioned into executive previous government in exile into the United States. Their transition from their territory to another country. And they did what? The government in exile issued peaceful declaration of Palestine as a country, not as PLO. The structure, the transition, the information stand, the transition and the diplomatic movement under the international law stand within days of the peace declaration, within days after the peace declaration of PLO as an organization that transitioned into a government of a country. That is what? That they transition into a government of what? A country called Republic of Palestine. Republic of what? Palestine. Over 80 countries formally, fully diplomatic recognition to the newly declared government in exile of Palestine as a country, now signed treaties and the Geneva Convention law. These massive waves of global recognition forced the opening of direct official diplomacy, part of the OSLO Accord, the end of National Nation Authority, and the current reality when over 140 UN member states formally recognized the state of Palestine. This is how Palestine moved. They did not fall back to PLO. They moved and start using the name Republic of Palestine in all the documents and answering the state of what? Palestine. This is the name of their country. And they use this name as shield recognition, not in the name PLO. This is how it happened in where? In Palestine. This is how they become a country. I have given you 4 of countries through government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration. Now, on the issue of Palestine, anyway you talk about the organization, PLO comes in brackets. Why the Republic of Palestine is fully out. The PLO proven. This is where we started. Now, when we transition into government in exile, we issued a declaration. But before we issue, we are answering PLO. We are answering what? PLO. We that answered PLO, we that are the one that transition into government in exile. We are the one who should, we are the one who pronounce, or we are the one who announce that our name on the day of our declaration, November 15, 1988, we are the one, the full government, and we have a shield recognition of a country based that we are answering the name of a country. If you are not a country, you can't sign treaty. You can't sign Geneva Convention. You must stand as a country. You must prove that you are a government of a country, whether you are in exile. That is why you must issue ID card, you must issue birth certificate, you must issue resident permit to your citizens in abroad or anywhere they are. This is what the people of Pakistan, Palestine did, and all these countries that was not recognized. The only government in exile that's among these 6, now we are going to 5, all of them, remember, that recognized here, started from an organization, transitioned to government in exile, and issued a peaceful declaration or redeclared, like Ireland, like Czechoslovakia. I hope you are following. Now, the National Council of Government of the Union of Burma, Myanmar, everybody use organization. Every country use organization. The country, Union of Burma, and Union of Burma, Myanmar. The organization name, the Council of Government of the Union of Burma, NCGUB is the name of the organization. NCGUB is the name of the organization they used. What happened? Now, the organization, the National Coalition Government of the Union of Burma, NCGUB, transition into government in exile and issue declaration 1990. Now we move. In May 1990, the citizens of Burma voted in a democratic general election that the National League from Democracy, NLD, led by San Suu Kyi, won a classical landline victory, scoring over 80% of the parliament. The ruling military junta, SLOR, completely refused to honor the declaration of the mandate, arrested the leadership, and banned the newly elected parliament from even hosting. They tried to stop this movement of people of Myanmar. And who was those people? The people of Myanmar that was being used by the oppressor, like what we are seeing today. They did what? This is how they tried to stop. They used their hand to arrest their leader. They used their hand to arrest the leader. This is how their case started. Now, what happened? Did it end there as the leader was arrested? Listen. The declaration and recognition. Refusing to elect the Democrats' mandate after issued a declaration. A core group of the legal and the capital, they managed to do what? Escape in their country. What happened? They're navigating through a border into Ireland or Thailand. The people of Miami, they transitioned the government of them that in the homeland who wanted to do election, thought that the oppressor is not using any of their people. They was shocked when their people, military, come to arrest them. And they all took on their feet, run away from Myanmar, run into Thailand. They run into Thailand on December 18, 1990 is when they went into Thailand. In this town of the Thailand, they exercise a government in exile, a formal political transition. Now, that is when they form officially NCGUB as the name as the organization. Now, when they transition with this name in Thailand, when there was in their territory, they are not using Thailand. They all used NLD were in our land. Now, when they transitioned into government in exile, the organization they used, as they are using this name of this organization, what happened? They issued a peaceful declaration in Thailand. They did what? They issued a peaceful declaration in where? In Thailand. As the official, the legitimate government of the people of Myanmar. As the issue, what happened? They appointed a prime minister and they set up an extremely administrative force across the globe. Why geopolitical bloc by neighboring superpower prevent them from taking Burma physical seats at the UN? They could not take the physical seat at the UN because the oppressor is the one blocking everything. Like what Nigeria is doing against US, against Biafra, but UAS has ended it all. The NCGUB achieved an incredible, vital type of a government in exile that achieved a massive international recognition in the name of country Myanmar. And now, the name of the organization after transitioning into government in exile and issue a peaceful declaration in December 18, 1990. What happened? Then, based on the name of the country, they signed treaty after they have achieved recognition as a country. Now, the European Parliament, the United Nations government, Norway, and several international judicial bodies formally recognized Republic of Myanmar that was declared by NCGUB that transitioned into Thailand. I hope you are listening clearly. You see how they are recognizing it. They will first remember that this particular organization is the one that has a leader who stood up and issued this declaration. That is the one they always recognize because that one has the authentic document of the redeclared of the country in their hands. That is the one. Now, as they recognize them, what happened? How many does it take them? Then how many does it take them for them? Between the time of their transition and their protests and the government in exile, it took them 22 years. It took them how many years? 22 years. Which is when it ended up in 2012 when IPOB was being registered by a man named Nnamdi Kanu. It took them 22 years for them to take over their territory fully out of the oppressor. Hope you are listening. Now, summary timeline of sovereign transition. Listen. Years of the transition. Country representative. Transitional organization. Type of recognition achieved. Now on this, listen. 1918, Czechoslovakia. Transition organization, government in exile. Czechoslovakia National Council. What happened to them? They achieved a full de jure recognition by world power, US, UK, France, before the territory was physically controlled. Their territory was not in their hand, Czechoslovakia. It's the hands of oppressor. Austria-Hungary Empire. The Australia and the Hungary was two that was occupied Czechoslovakia. They never returned until they achieved full recognition. When US, UK, and France recognizes them, they now come back and take over their territory that was surrendered by the oppressor. they take over their physical territory after the recognition of how many years? Of over 30 years in exile. Now, 1919, Ireland, where you are doing 1 million men march. Sanifim First Delhi Erin is the name of the organization that Ireland was used. As their transition government in exile, they signed, after they redeclared, international treaties making recognition, forced to grant British to negotiate to leave the territory of Ireland. Ireland run away to America. They run away to France. And they stand there and issued what? Peaceful redeclared of their lost country. This recognition from countries like Germany and British this has to come to negotiate that this has become a sovereign nation, and we must leave their territory for them. After over 400, that wasn't enough. They went down to another 30 years. Ireland was in captivity of this British country for confirmed 430 years. Imagine, in all. Now, Algeria. The National Algeria Liberation Front, FLN, GPRA, widespread recognition from after 32 years in exile, achieved recognition from countries from Asia and Europe and Soviet Union. And they got recognition after 32 years, came back and took over their physical territory. Now, 1988, Palestine Liberation Organization name, PLO, after issue a peaceful declaration and achieved a wide recognition over countries of 143 UN member states, recognize them, they come back and take over their territory. What is their government in exile base? United States. Now, Myanmar is another one. 1990, finally, the NCGUB is the name of the organization that was being used. In this name of this organization, they achieved recognition from the European Union, from the EU, and other countries. They turn back after being in exile for 22 years and take over their territory in the hands of Angola, Hungary Empire that was occupying their territory. Now, the recognition of forces, this country that was occupying their country, to leave their country, and today are not a country. This is a sixth organization. This is a six people that start with organization, ended up being a country through transition, through stop protests. Now, the government in exile issued the declaration or redeclared of their lost country. This is how it is. The bridge we know is the bridge that Simon, that is the bridge our dealers use and declare USB redeclared, whether I like it or not. Now, the universal blueprint of success. If you are looking at an entire era of global history, the organization successfully transitioned into the organized movement in exile allows a very specific strategic administrative formula for the international community guideline for them to achieve the recognition of their full country. For them to do what? Maintain their recognition. For them to get recognition that they stand on the protocol. They stand on the template of the international global community. Number one, constitution, not what? Constitution. is what they presented. They always base their transition on a clear legal foundation, either sweeping through a words, a former government in exile, and issue a peaceful declaration like Ireland, Myanmar, Czechoslovakia, Algeria, Palestine. This is those that they give us an example. You had it here that the transition based on the legal criteria of the international global community. The ministers, they abide the loose structure of an active group, and they form a structure. Professional cabinet members, ministers of foreign affairs, finance, and judge and justice. Is not what happened in Finland. We have all this under USB declared. That is how every other country in the past has gone through this road. And today they're all a country. The foreign diplomatic could interact with you using a standard diplomatic protocol of international global community. The key milestone of record keeping. These provide the sovereignty by managing their data, maintaining comprehensive, issuing ID card, passport to the citizens to prove that this is an official government in exile of a country, not of organization, that lost their territory by being in control after they have achieved a wide separate recognition from different countries and different organizations, like UN. Do you hear that? This is how other countries achieve their own. And you are here making mockery of yourself. Please, I like you to please hit the like button if you never do so. Please like and share the program if you can do that. If you think you can do that, I want you to like and share the program, please. This is how all these countries becomes a country today. Look at it. Organization, transition, government in exile, issue peaceful declaration. Now, with these 6 countries I mentioned here today, with these 6 organizations that transition and they all achieve recognition of their country after they have issued a peaceful declaration, those 6 are, they don't have saboteurs, they have them. But the saboteurs never stop them from achieving recognition. The saboteurs never stop them from achieving this recognition. And when the world is granting recognition, they always grant it to the one that stood up and declare and prove that he has a constitution, not by bilateral law. It's, they said a full constitution documented must be involved. Do not mind all these noisemakers. Never you mind any of them. Because there is nothing they can do. So let us have our minds and believe that you are, with this, you can see how you are on a right track. You can see how Biafra is almost everywhere in the world because of what? The transition over to be a gift to us, transition from IPOB to autopilot, from autopilot to bridge, from bridge to government in exile to issue redeclared of a lost country, and now acting as a country in waiting. This is how every other country in the world has achieved their country. This is how countries in this world have gone through. This is how organizations has gone through and achieved their country. Why do you think our own case will always be different? Because of your blockhead. You think that you can stop this movement. The world is watching everything that we are doing. And they are using the same template they use against all those that never believe in what they are doing. So I am trying to refresh and play the audio back if the audio can play. Then, as I'm playing, I will put the link for those who want to join us so they can be able to join us. So please, if you never like the program, what is holding you to like the program? Why are you stingy of just touching that like button? For the world to know that we are here, that we must continue to prove to the world that it's only through USB they are declared, it's only way we have to achieve Biafra as a country. Without this declaration, we are just making social media. Without this official declaration of USB declared, what are we doing? We are just making noise in social media. That is why it is very, very imperative that you as a person understand it and follow the timeline. Look at how 6 countries, 6 organizations automatically turn into government in exile. And this what happens to them. They are all countries today. Does it end here? The answer is no. As we proceed it clearly, you can do what? See it clearly. It's not by mouth. It's not by gra-gra. It is by the truth. And this only truth is what will set us free, my people. There is no other way around. So let's play the audio back again. I think I have refreshed 3 times. Let's see if it can go well. We must take example of other countries for us to achieve our own.
To give you the most absolute, comprehensive historical record, we have to look globally at every major organization that successfully executed this exact sequence, originating as a political organization, liberation front, or parallel parliament, transitioning into a formal government in exile, GE, or provisional government, issuing a peaceful declaration or redeclaration of sovereignty, and successfully leveraging that transition to force the international community to grant them formal diplomatic recognition. Historically, this is an elite tier of statecraft. Here is the complete, detailed history of the organizations, the countries they represented, the exact years of their declarations, and how they practically executed this strategy. 1. The Czechoslovak National Council, Czechoslovakia, the country, Republic of Czechoslovakia. The organization, the Czechoslovak National Council, Československá národní rada, year of transition and declaration, 1918. The history and practical execution. During World War I, the Czech and Slovak nations did not exist on a map. They were completely subsumed within the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In 1916, nationalist intellectuals led by Tomáš Masaryk, Edvard Benes, and Milan Stefanik formed a political advocacy group in Paris called the Czechoslovak National Council. To transition into a government, they realized they needed to show the world they could perform the primary duty of a state, defense. They organized Czech and Slovak prisoners of war and deserters across Europe into a highly disciplined military force of over 100,000 men, known as the Czechoslovak Legions, who fought alongside the Allied powers. The Declaration and Recognition. On October 18, 1918, Masaryk issued the Washington Declaration from Washington, D.C., a peaceful, highly sophisticated declaration of independence that outlined a democratic constitution, freedom of speech, and universal suffrage. Because the council had transitioned into an entity that commanded an active army and possessed an organized diplomatic corps, the United States, Great Britain, France, and Italy formally recognized the council as the de jure, legal government in waiting of Czechoslovakia before the empire even collapsed. When World War I ended week 8. 2. The Dáil Éireann, Irish Volunteers, Ireland, the country, the Irish Republic, Sorstat Éireann, the organization, Dáil Éireann, the parallel parliament, and the Irish Volunteers. Year of transition and declaration, 1919. The history and practical execution. Following the 1916 Easter Rising, Irish nationalists moved away from scattered protests and targeted the British electoral system.
Listen, the island.
In the December 1918 UK general election, the nationalist party Sinn Féin won a landslide victory across Ireland. Instead of traveling to London to sit in the British Parliament, the elected officials staged a peaceful political mutiny. They gathered in Dublin on January 21, 1919, and transitioned themselves into a revolutionary, parallel parliament called the First Dáil Éireann. The Declaration and Recognition. On that exact day, the Dale issued 3 historic, peaceful documents: the Declaration of Independence, a message to the free nations of the world, and the Democratic Program. They formally declared the Irish Republic and transitioned the parliament into a fully functioning underground government in exile operating within occupied territory. They set up a parallel court system, Dale courts, that completely bypassed British judges, successfully collected national taxes, and sent diplomatic envoys abroad. While Britain tried to suppress them by force during the Anglo-Irish War, the Russian-Soviet Republic formally recognized the Irish Republic in 1920, and the sheer administrative success of the Dale forced Great Britain to sign the Anglo-Irish Treaty in 1921, recognizing the Irish Free State. 3. The National Liberation Front, GPRA, Algeria, the country, Democratic and Popular Republic of Algeria. The organization, National Liberation Front, Front de Libération Nationale, FLN, Year of Transition and Declaration, 1958. The history and practical execution. For nearly 30 years, Algerian organizations engaged in peaceful civil protests demanding equal rights from France. France systematically ignored them, asserting that Algeria was not a colony but a permanent, legal province of metropolitan France. In 1954, the movement pivoted, organizing under the FLN to launch an active war of liberation. By 1958, the FLN realized that military guerrilla warfare alone could not defeat a global superpower. They needed to strip France of its legal monopoly over Algerian identity. On September 19, 1958, the FLN leadership met in Cairo, Egypt, and formally transitioned their revolutionary organization into a state apparatus, the Provisional Government of the Algerian Republic, GPRA. The Declaration and Recognition. The GPRA immediately issued a peaceful declaration of statehood to the international community. They organized a formal cabinet of ministers, headed by Farhat Abbas, and established highly sophisticated, functioning parallel ministries for foreign affairs, information, and finance based in Tunis and Cairo. The strategy was an immediate diplomatic masterstroke. Within weeks, over 30 countries, including Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Tunisia, China, and the Soviet Union, granted formal diplomatic recognition to the GPRA. The GPRA then signed the Geneva Conventions, legally forcing the international community to recognize the conflict as an international war between 2 sovereign states rather than a domestic French policing matter. This international recognition forced France to the negotiating table, culminating in the 1962 Evian Accords and full territorial independence. 4. The Palestine Liberation Organization, Palestine, the country, the state of Palestine. The organization, the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, Year of Transition and Declaration, 1988. The history and practical execution. Founded in 1964, the PLO operated for decades as a liberation movement representing the Palestinian population under occupation and in the global diaspora. While the United Nations and the Arab League recognized the PLO as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, it did not possess the formal...
Yes. Why do they recognize all this? This is the one that issued the declaration. That is, they are in bracket. Let's welcome our brother Lushuma God. Please, sir, you can come in and have the mic. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, my brother, good afternoon from my side. You know,
from here.
Thank you so much for the job. And sometimes when we come here, we don't like to thank anybody because this job, the way you take it, is an eye-opener. But let me tell you something here. I'm so sometimes I get angry, but sometimes I also encourage myself because in all these things that they are saying, what people went through, we have never even gone it half. We have never even gone it half. Just even the declaration, it's not even up to 2 years. And people want the people want heaven to fall. People want us when you talk suffering. People, I don't know this apology. why are they saying that Igbo people are the most listening? How do the Igbo
useless people.
How do they manage? I ask. This thing that is happening today, are people not listening? 21st century, just if there is any difference, there is no single difference from what we are going through now. Our leaders are inside. There was a day Dr. Rabese was saying something in one of the funders. He said it's she that will bring Ohamadike out. Because he knew what he was saying. Nobody will understand that. Our people did that. Does not mean he will not know anything again. And I hammer every day, peaceful declaration, peaceful decoration. Two names. It's either a declaration or a lost country or a decoration. But I mention both of them, showing you the path we are touring, the path we are going. Why did our people abroad, man, this high grass school, why are they this gullible? I ask. Why are they delusional? Why? It is now obvious that all these groups, because I saw one of my friend, Nkwocha, somebody I respect, turning Imam Madhabu. Are they not educated? In calculating this whole peaceful declaration, have you seen anybody with any country with group? So you are now going to align yourself with Imam Madhabo, BGC. What is the name? Even I heard when they mentioned something governing council, still that name did not also excuse me, did not also give them a country until there was a declaration. And these people now, they also have understood that the first peaceful declaration is only one. Even if BGC go tomorrow and declare Biafra, even if tomorrow Ogenkere go and declare Biafra, even if tomorrow Otopala go and declare Biafra, even if tomorrow DOS go and declare Biafra, even if tomorrow IPOB go and declare Biafra, my brother, it can never hold water. It can never. The thing, the first peaceful declaration, that is the name. The first peaceful declaration. Thank God for Dr. Ngozi Arabeze. Thank God for Dr. Arabeze. Thank God. When you say the thank God, if this woman did not do this, Mazi, if she have not done this, Mazi, I know by now,
yes, now.
Yeah, sign it, sir. Yeah, sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Okay, buddy, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, up there. I want to pass on one because why I'm saying this thing is because I don't know. I have come to understand now that when I didn't understand Finland, my brother. And when I had me work with the other day, one of our brothers said, "Let him up. If you you were a truthful person. The whole people gaga Finland. Amahamo, but only anybody Amazi came back and said the truth. One, first they go there to lie. They go there and lie. That is why it happened.
To maintain their structure.
Yes, let me tell you, after my visitation to Finland, I have now come to realize that in all these things, it's about money, it's about money.
Yeah, it's about.
Believe me, people want to lay their hands on money. I am telling you, it's now I realize whether all of them, both Ugo Chukwu Ugonna, whatever I call it, with doctor. One hearing is about money. Onye may wepụta account, onye may wepụta account, onye may wepụta account. One, Obatobia himself, you can, anything you want to do to fight for Obatobia, you are free to do that. But some people got a lot of, they want to use it to exploit people. Since I went to see Obatobia in Finland for now, okay, I'm building my own group. My own group, God, liberation. God, liberation. I please, I'm going to put my account. Anybody who have anything for our PM, I saw him. He needs our money. All these things are all lies. All lies. All lies. When go to Hamadikeno, people go to Sokoto. When they go to Sokoto, they come back and they frame something to see if they can take money from the gullibles. This is very, very sad, Mazi, because like I said before, this Biafra Biagroleni, this thing will our own, even Nandi Kanukuri or even Dr. Abeza have said it. Our own will not take long like other people, because those people who did those in those years, why they did not move forward, most of them then there was no a lot of media mass. There was no push. Look at the way foreign affairs for some days now. You can see what is happening in Brussels. You can see what happened yesterday in Austria. Now, USB government is pushing so hard. They are pushing so hard. No, they are not giving the entire world space. I am telling you, so I just don't want to, talk too much, because I have come to realize that everybody, Gomas, all of them, they are just looking for their personal money. Believe me. Believe me.
Because they all see this is only a police for them to make money.
Yes.
They all see this is only a police for them to make money.
Yes. Have you not listened to lawyers, some of them? These people, Mambet Kanaga became, imagine the whole former Attorney General of the Federation of Brazil. Oh, now these people are not being paid though. My lawyer, them, who can proudly come that is paying them. My Maxwell, Bara, legal luminaries, people who want to use the law to make things happen. People, they volunteer and come and here. All we need who receive money from IPOB, even from government, from Biafra. According to them, by saying 100-something thousand. But the thing, even in Finland, people can volunteer to defend the matter just because they want to know why you must prosecute this person. They want to know all these people, all battle be on uniform here. Only our reservists na Finland. His case will be like other people's case. The answer, it will never be that way. Even this guy, nothing. He has no. He just all of us knew that this is just manipulation, because they were paid to do what they did. They were paid to, even Omotosho. Omotosho was paid. Look at what is happening today in Nigeria. Everywhere, Fulani have run. I'm not wasn't Fulani. ISIS have rounded the whole Nigeria up. Still, our people are here.
Yes.
Every day you come here, you are working 15 hours, you take out your time, you come here to educate people. Since I went to Finland and came back, it is now I have come to realize. Let me name, you see, from Ogenkere, Brigi, from Autopilot, from BGC, from CRC, from PUC, Mazi. This is about personal. They just want to take money from people, There is nothing else. Nothing else. Have you not known that according to the law, no lawyer will come from America to go and defend PM in Finland? That's one man they interviewed. The man said, I think he said, Van den Data. The man said he can only advise. He can't go there to make case for Batobie. He only will make case when there is case. That was one man that cannot all his life. Everybody say he didn't do anything. He had to tell them what he did. Now the thing is very, very annoying. I'm telling you, very, very annoying. It's our people not listening. And why have they failed to research? Why? Know that what they're doing is wrong. The research and see the record of people who did the same thing they did. See the consequences. And look, because let me conclude, but I want to say something, which is something you always say here, and I have come to time to believe that. If we like, let them have 20 groups for this single declaration that Torabese did on the 29th of November 2024. Mazin, there is no government, there is nobody can give any recognition if not the United States of Biafra. You can never give a recognition to an entity. You can never, no government talk to government. Even someone have said it before. It is only government can talk to government. Government cannot talk to organization. Government can not talk to IPOB. They can't talk to BGC. They can't talk to Brigade. They can't talk to PUC. They can never talk to autopilot. What is how anything you do with government is gazetted? You don't know that. If government talk to government, it's gazetted. So how can you talk to a group? It will not work. So my brother, we are so grateful. We are so grateful for what Dr. Rabeza have done. If this woman did not declare Biafra, my brother, if this did not happen, that is the end of Biafra. Believe me. If she had not done this, it would have been the end of Biafra. Because now, even Ogodin Kana in Sohia, Namibia, that is close to us here. Namibia of yesterday, 8 groups. Our own 8 groups. At the end, the first to declare only recognized it and ask other people to go back.
Remember that this Namibia, that South Africa brought in 5 groups and it asked one to go and declare Namibia again.
Yes.
And even South Africa was pushing to the United Nations, tell them to recognize that one they introduced by themselves. So now this is a fake one. And the world says no. We are the one that's recognizing. We are recognizing the one that stood up on the first time we declared this country called Namibia. That is the one.
Which is what?
So that is why I said when I see our people that are debunking lies and all this, there is nothing you can debunk. But the same that must flock together. And we cannot achieve Biafra without having saboteurs and all this group.
I know.
When the is no people, now they are the Nibagos, when the bank could be here.
Yes.
When by got cotton, or man, about the cotton, America had the cotton, or number 500 sign on America, African country. Who are we? I he said, Mazakano said that Oteletuas are the one who made Ojuku to fail.
Yes.
Oteletuas of Igbo land. They are the one who made Ojuku to fail. The same Oteletuas in IPOB that when Mazakano make 2 steps, they draw him back to 0 step. The same was happened to Obatobi. Obatobi understand all of them and you openly said, I want 4 people who will select those that's going to work after we have declared Biafra.
Yeah.
And he said that without this declaration that we are making noise. So what happens then?
He said it. The whole people open here with them. Why have they chosen to do this? I want to add, Deacon. Actually, I am going to hit the record now, the history that it must happen. But the thing is, can they not for once have back or out? They are not doing the right thing. They are going wrong way. Why?
See, my father, when you tell one lie,
Yeah.
you need to find 4 lies to cover one. Before you cover that one, find 4. Or banana 8, from 8 or bar 12. So this is what is happening to them. They can never change. We are not the first. That's why I'm not using this word. We are not the first people. We are not going to be the last.
Yeah.
And when it's gone to where we are today, the gullible that I was being deceived, I have checked in the history. American congressmen have not recognized any country in the world. They become a country.
Oh, no, within their jurisdiction, mass.
Oh,
it's
no,
not
within their jurisdiction.
What is
the Congress of America are not the ones to recognize Biafra as a country. They are just like a speaker to say, please, these people are talking about Biafra. And for those who flow Ogenkere, I hope you are here when I read the document of Ogenkere is presenting himself. Ogenkere is building a political organization of himself in America because he has failed Biafra and Nigeria because the Nigeria brought Ogenkere in. Ogenkere has failed. When Nigerian government tried to use IPOB used 5,000 Iras against Obatobi. Where are they? Are they not Biafrans? The same thing. So history must repeat.
Yes.
History must repeat. That is always my word. And that is why I
believe onye ga-ahụta Obatobi bịa ya ebido ke ya. Onye ga-ahụ Obatobi bịa. Ọkwa Obatobi ka m gara hụ. No be my ka m ga-adụ n'ọdụ ya. Not with him for 45 minutes. Onye gacha with him lọta ya tụọ fast tụọ bido gaa na media. And I see Obatobi, he said, have I said any, even people, a lot of things, I can't come to me here and say it. Of course, I can't. But where can Jimrana, in the Naga Finland, Haga, Hana story. One in call bullshit. Because he got there, Obatobi and they choose words. The guy at the time intelligent, and the guy on the wiseness. Ị na-agwa ya okwu, ị na-calculate on a psychologist. On make a psychologist. So ị nwere ike bịa ị na-agwa ya okwu dị aṅa, ihe ga na-watch eye contact, body movement, what is this saying? People cannot even read body movement. So ha gacha pụta otu a m gara na alọta mkpọ gị Chinosi na I think we have to start something. Obatobi now maybe or they happy with everybody. Was the moment God is happy with? My Ekeneze. Say one number you said like we Obatobi I be done. And then I got one why. Our 5,500 men. I let them yes, can you get so I'm gonna chamber? I can walk away to that can't I? You get you to Leganya. I'm gonna chamber of Obatobi. Our duty to secure Obatobi, to secure him. So, meeting your account, give it to people. Let everybody, anything you have, then no matter how small. I beg.
And you are here. History is repeating. But the only thing I see that our people are very naive in their mind.
Naive because Jesus.
Our people want to remind that hey, I am in charge. I don't want to be in this position where I can't say that I worked before and now I'm S cabinet member. I won't take it. Let me go and form my own. That is what is the problem. Shut
up your mouth. Make sure no get. If you go and see him and come out, you just keep your mouth shut. We don't need you to come and begin to turn a group, trauma group. I get make man just to get money from our people. Simple.
Yes.
Simple. Okay, 3 people engagement at the group. 3 people. Can I win any group?
Can you talk abroad? I claim na homeland because we keep going for.
Can I not go na homeland though?
So, senior to your mic, senior to one.
Can I go my brother? Member of our group.
Master, can you please unmute your mic? We can't hear you. Unmute your mic. Unmute. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Your mic is muted. Unmute your mic. We can't hear you. Unmute your mic. Your mic is muted. Unmute. Okay, go on. It's from me. Go on now. I think we can hear you.
Okay. And now, my people, imagine it.
Thank you so much.
I'm very happy today. Just I have a little bit a battery issue now. But I want to add one topic. There are two topics and you today. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello.
Fire down.
Go ahead.
Now,
loud and clear. Go on.
I've with two topics. One, challenge and expose. Challenge and expose, which means to start with, I love what Ogekere is doing. Church is my big fan. I love what that is doing. I love them well. I love what they do. I love them well. That church, they're my people. Church, I love them well. Now, challenge is what I'm talking about now. If they don't challenge, I don't think my brother will be able to do research. You understand? Now, they are challenging our government, and we are moving higher. Even like family now, if you have challenge now, you add more speed to what they had before. So they make up to add more speed to what we are having before. Now, after Biafra, before maybe one sleep, they put a challenge. It go higher. You go higher. That's challenge. Now, I want to talk to our government now, which is Biafra. They give us promise, and we are on democracy. They told us one thing, that we are going to build the best country in the world. The best country in the world. That's where I am standing. Now, we want to look deep to that our country, that Biafra. We are in diaspora. We are in Holland. I'm not afraid of Holland. Now, something going on here now. Very big. That's what we have to discuss. Not all this all these rubbish people. Let us discuss vital issues that are to come, maybe 20 years time or 30 years to come. That's why we are fighting for Biafra. Because if we don't do it now, because we are in Nigeria, we want to run to Biafra. What if it happens to Biafra? What will we run to? To Cameroon? Or run to Namibia? No, we can't do that. Now we are Biafra, we are Igbos, we are Biafrans. Now what I'm saying is this. This is another topic I want to bring in now. They have who we call Igbo Muslim. I'm going somewhere, my brother. Sorry, maybe my battery might not allow me, but I'll tip you some things that we want to learn here. Now, because we are being killed in this fucking country, that's why we said, okay, we are going home. Then how do they come in to start killing us here? They're coming from Fulham Hausa, calling them my brothers. That's how they got them in. They're my brothers. Now, from being brothers, they want to smite this country. It affects me and you and I. We say, no, we want to go from this place to this place. Now, come to Igbo land now. This is a vital issue that we have to think about it. Now, they now come to Igbo land and create another people again, calling them Igbo Muslims. I get my point. Igbo Muslims are calling themselves. Fine and good. You can see that it's my brother. After all, is the Muslim. Mind you, every Muslim people must bring Sharia in 1 year or 20 years time is in their blood. Muslim is the violent religion. Now you will leave them. This is a deep problem now we are talking about now. Government should look at this what I'm talking about now. Then maybe we have gotten Biafra fine. He said it's not in our constitution. No problem. Someone can change constitution when time comes. If not, why would Babangida place Nigeria as a Muslim? Was he fight the war? No, he wasn't there when they brought Nigeria. He wasn't there when they fought the war. But because he had the power and the agenda to make Nigeria Muslim, that's why he did it. 1985. Now, those people call our brothers that they are in Muslim brothers. Fine. They're telling you one thing also. No, peace, no problem. Let me tell you now. when we got to Biafra finish, maybe 30 years to come, I don't pray anybody to die, but we are getting old anyway. They will now enter government. They can be a governor, they can be whatever in the government. Because the process, they might migrate themselves to become the presidency again. Because they have an agenda. They have been polluted. You now call them my brother Enugu, my brother Enugu. They will now, what must have gone now? They will now change the government again to what they still want to or what. Please, we should take care of this one I'm saying now. They will do it. Then they will not change constitution again. Then we and I are not no longer. Well, we are fighting for our children to come. Not we. Ojuku fought for us. I didn't witness Biafra. But they fought for us. What I'm seeing now is Ojuku legacy. So we should not look this in as a minor issue. Then our representative might not be there. Unkar will not be there. That was our DP will not be there. Our prime will not be there. They will see those people are dangerous. They know what they're doing. They can take the 30 years to achieve their dream. We should do it now to see what we can do about that. Please, my people. Not even getting Biafra is the issue. Is to protect Biafra for our children. I don't care about us gullible, those idiots that call the Kelgen. They're not my problem. Because what's happening here now, my brother, I'm telling you something that's happening. You're not here. It's getting close.
We are getting those information more than we are. In fact, we are on ground more than you because of we have our means of having all the information. Let me tell you one thing. The man is Nana Shrakana about mine on the same time. Okay. I believe in the man. As no name as Shana. It was of Ute. Over in the flow, this program, there is area I want you to be helping using my program to be seeing some things and act like you did not see them. What is the idea? The Muslim, the Igbo Muslims boot Fabran. What do I mean? Biafra Constitution takes care of all those things. With our creation of Biafra as a country, how are we going to pursue them? You still under one Nigeria. You must prove that I am a country called Biafra. Then use your law to chase them away. That is what, and so let them see. And that's why I said, let those in our breath, everybody push hard for us start recognition first. The Utaine Wokuya Bogene, the Anekaine Wokuya Biafra as a country. Once we are still, don't you hear that when Namibia declared their country, there was not in control. South Africa was controlling everything, doing whatever they like, until after 30 years, they come back and chase away. These people in the Eboquia, the Candy and Namibia, what over 50 trailer, where part of two as the Bujan and South Africa, they don't profit about. So, now we have about internal conflict. The internal conflict will come. When internal conflict started, I hope you will stand because the America, they had internal conflict. They call it brutal Cold War. When Biafra land because of constitution. That is when you are controlled. Obona AD in control of your land. A big the one boot Muslim, Igbo Muslim brothers boot upon HMF for now. In we will achieve recognition of Biafra as a country. Can't you hear that when Algeria get recognition from Morocco, Tunisia, when they get it from Liberia, we got it from Ghana, we got it from Soviet Union, that they came back and possessed their territory and chased away those that occupied their territory and chased even their citizens that were against what they are doing. So the thing that bothers us so much is things I call extra time. The full time now is recognition. All these countries, when there was suffering, their people was against them. They never first take care of those that was against them. They allow them to be against them until all of them are achieved recognition. They now take care of it because now you are full in your house. Now you are not full in your house. So that is what you can take care of things when you are out. When you are in, you are in. So all these people are what? Yes, on a pen, on a wutani. With the kind of things grown in Eben Diozan, but natural recognition first. Once we achieve recognition, all these things they also are in America. Now, when they are fighting, Nandi in Kejuroni, over 80,000, but also Gini ha ji wee gba ọsọ because of na America wanted to go their country consume na apịa fa mmanwụ fa akpramụgbofa wee bilie n'onwe ha. So Igbo Muslim brothers wo okwu na-ese akụkọ after we have achieved. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother. I want to pass another message again. You know, your people, these people, they kidnap children, and that's not their problem, because they said they don't want Western education. People don't understand where they're going. Now they're demanding guns, they're demanding healers, they're demanding Sharia law. Let me tell you what I observe here, because Biafra is spawning me in my brother. I don't know if I will die today, but we have gotten the Biafra. Now, this is what they're doing. They told you they don't want Western education, fine and good. Now they kidnap children. They are demanding guns and healers and Sharia law. See, what we have to know that we are here. We have gotten the Biafra. Everybody should sleep and pray to God and give thanks to our mama who delivered the Biafra. Because every mother loves children. That is why they gave her that power by the Holy Spirit. Because without that mother, I'm telling you, in the world, they value woman. Everybody has a mother. You know, now this woman have delivered us. See, what they're doing is this. I know they have come because the Yoruba people have been affected so badly that they are praising Nandikalo. They have hinted. They have. Let's see. It's close, even close to where we. I don't know. I'm in America anywhere. We're in America now. They are close to America where we are now. Hope you get what I'm saying.
Yes,
so
yes.
Everybody, even as we're here, everybody's on alert. So let me tell you something. Biafra have come. Don't push anybody. They will soon believe it. Okay, it's better they go and sleep down, because them too will not be safe. I hope they have brothers here. Have you ever heard about Tudela again? No, they have seen it as it's coming. So the best, the savior now is is our savior, plus including Nadikal and our prime minister. This is the three angels that God used to. If not, my brother, in short, let me tell you something. It's better they not both people be in. Let me tell you why I say so. Because they call those people infidels. They will trigger the action times 10. If that guy. So don't worry about Biafra. It's already here. Everybody, even if it's a vision, it's going to reality. Go to on social media platform. I watch every program. Even according to what we saw here, the people have other Pentagon because they have seen it's coming. So don't put anybody now, because if you are against Biafra, you will run. If you don't want Biafra, I pray that it will touches you. Won't you knock on your door? They will. If people are saying it now, they're demanding Sharia law.
That
Do you know why?
What Mazan kind of already said. So all this that happen now. Me, why I don't give them chances that my president or my prophet has already make it openly today in the House of Senate in Nigeria, the House of Senators. They are saying that they have confirmed the proofs of Mazan and the Kanu. So what I am here is to let us understand that Ogenkere group and what they are doing. It says that what's happening in Namibia, how South Africa used people of Namibia to fight against the SWAPO that issued the Declaration of America of Namibia. We are on the same page with them right now. Just focused. Yes, your name is Isaac. Please, I can entertain you or read your comments if you can use the link. Enter. Before I see the mic.
Please, I want to go out. Can I just say one minute? I drop.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I want to say is, in everything that I'm saying here, not because I went to Finland, or make no mistake, but from your teaching, my brother, if I go to bed and sleep, I don't think anything else. I'm thinking anybody can stop Biafra, or I'm thinking anything will happen. My brother, I stopped thinking since this your program. But this is an eye-opener that all this thing that is going on are meant to be. I'm not saying this because I went to see Obatobi or you know, like I was saying before, not because I went and saw are being sponsored to do what they are doing. Believe me, they are being sponsored. The same thing they do to Namibia, they do to Tunisia, they do to Algeria. People will bring out their fund to make sure this didn't happen. So that's what is going on now. Yes. And you think, where is the money coming from? That is interest. Who will make sure they put their money and make sure this didn't happen? So thank you, my brother. That's what I want to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's give the Mas can I please submit finally, because Mas is here for long waiting for us. So you can also give him my But before you go, your name is Isaac. Please use the link. Let me give you a link. Please come in. I don't want you to be on my side. If you come in, I'll answer your question. Isaac, please, this is the link. Come into the platform. I will answer you. If you don't come in, I will ban. That's how I do. I give time. So please come in. Yeah, go please finally before I give Thomas 3
Yeah, I want to summarize my matter now. I pray, please, my brother Chino, let government of USB recognize you. Please, I'm begging them.
No.
Please, because you know what I'm saying. Please,
I want to be an independent media. I don't want anything government for now. I see the way.
No. After when we have gotten the Biafra fully, they should recognize, because you serve thousands of souls from being misleading. You serve thousands of souls. If God, they know what they're doing. So God will start with reward you, and they must recognize, because He did a wonderful work on this program. Your program have educated people. Is an eye-opening to those who refuse to understand. It's a big eye-opening. Those that they cover their face with mask, they're now those that is putting off. The same thing, and they don't ever think of those fools. They're helping us to move forward. The challenge makes us to travel to. Yes, I love what they're doing. Let's continue doing that.
They put more serious.
Yes. That's why you're there. Because if you don't challenge Madam, not be there to clear air. So that I love let them have more groups. So that people that are in cabinet will take correction. You want to say people are marking me. I have to do this. Let me bring more ideas to get this thing so close. So you must be recognized. Oh, get home. God bless my brother. I raise my mic.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Triple, please take the mic. Triple, am I close to your mic? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you so much. My brother, greetings to you. Don't really want them, mother. Yeah. Thank you for the message. Thank you for the time given to us. Like I usually say, this is our battle. We are doing it as if I am the owner of my own. What I'm seeking for is my own. So
Triple, please 1 minute. Yes, okay. Isaac, I stand with Ngozi Oraveze. Are you just knowing it right now? I stand with the USD they are declared. I stand with the economy. I'm not standing with organization like you. So that is where, and now I'm going to ban you because I don't entertain fools in my page. So from now, you cannot comment again. Your time is out. Triple, please go on.
Okay, thank you. The message is really entering. My brother Benchus, I greet you, my admin. Thank you so much. I mean, no, the first person, right? Okay, who Benchus?
Only God, and
Daddy, yes, yeah, Daddy. Daddy Kenem, thank you so much. And our daddy in the house as well. Now you quick lelam. Elotala, you're welcome. Ogis in there. I'm telling you, Olotala. You can only deceive them for a moment. And one of them public and plain, black and white. Also, if you are doing the right thing, if you are doing the right thing, Biafrans are wise. Once they look at you, they will know if what you are doing is right thing or not. So that's how we are. We are not coward. Biafrans are not coward. I'm a hachoro, and I know a guy for it. Thank you, one name mother. My people at the comment section, the freedom we get, we are going home. My brother and Master, you know, even the me this message, all this your message, like I said on the comment section, it is really entering on Abba. You know, our people today that na Master Nandekano messages ya game which has in the Ga-emecha wezi message ya na a player today. See, this man won also. This man won also. One message gị obere oge, people will be, referencing your message the same way. So echekwana na ọ dị aba. Remember when we have our leader, our PM na Dineku. Also, people will join today. People will join tomorrow. People will join next tomorrow. And our DPM also use that same terminology. You are there today does not mean that people will not join tomorrow. No. I na-ekpe say otu iru anyị dị iche iche bụ otu akampa si wee dịrị iche iche. And why otu our knowledges and understanding ji wee dị iche iche. I been a class of 20. Teacher na-akụzi ihe. O nwere ndị ga-amụta ihe ahụ ebe a teacher na-akụzi ya. When ndị ga-amụta ya ma teacher akụzicha ya wee pụọ, ha ga through the note and ihe na ha mụta ya. When ndị ga-amụta ya ma ha gaa na yard. Okwe ndị ga-amụta ya after that teacher teaches, ha gaa na conference na general this because a na-enwe conference reading ebe a na-anọ na some group ha nọ ebe a nke ụfọdụ ga-amụta ya. Otu a ka ndụ adị. Our brother Oluchi nwa God nna anyị si na-ekwu okwu onye kesi awụ nkwọcha. One thing you need to understand bụ onye ọbụla na-adị compromised. Nwanne otu ọ sọkwa gị mee ya ọ ga-adịrịla compromise. Ya sọkwa gị mee ya asị gị ịhụrụ monkey. Asọkwa gị kpọrọ monkey gaa na city anya gaa na n'eloshi. Ya sọ gị mee monkey shi na community ebe oshi nọ kpọrọ ya kpọpụ ya na city. Ya achọ osisi ọhụụ oshi ọ ga-amagoro ya amagoro n'elu zinc. So all he got after ebe ndị ha nọ. Ebe dikpa ha ka onye kesi ya wụ ihe ni mbụ even ma eze amụ n'obi socha ha o. I saw onye kesi ya wụ eze amụ n'obi. The people iche na ha ma ihe. Most of our people amaghị the meaning of freedom. That is why you see them. Yeah. I will be back, my brother. Go on.
Daddy, you are doing our own makeup on my destiny.
Yeah. Any country, sorry. Yes, thank you, Ekwem. Thank you so much. I thought I did not muted my mic and I was flowing. So today, what we are seeking for is what Algeria seek after they have declared their country. What we are looking for today is what Algeria looked for 32 years before they can come back and take over their territory. For us, how many years?
Yes, I'm back, my brother. I don't know if I can continue.
Go on, yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Anyway, our people.
Network. That is network.
And what so many things are involved. Can you hear me now?
Can
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear, but now on the record, just go close to your network so you can be able to be clear.
From Nero, maybe I got my happy I carry on. I'm not back to office connect on a Wi-Fi. Then continue.
Okay. So, people of Biafra, why am I doing this program? I want you to see how many countries, remember our headline, EXPOZZ USBG Repeating History of CIS Organization that transition into government in exile. Today, they are countries on their own. Because it's passes one. We have give example of how CIS country transition. Remember that country like Palestine, today, it took them how many years? 22 years after they issued their declaration. The country like Czechoslovakia, it took them 30 years. Country like Algeria, 32 years. Namibia, 30 years. After they have, in all, it took them 4 years. Namibia, it took Namibia 3 years and 10 months for them to protest and start protest. Now transition into government in exile. After the government in exile, they issued their declaration. It took them 28 years before they can be able to achieve recognition and come back and take their territory out of hands of South Africa. The same thing happened to Algeria. The same thing did what happened to Algeria. These are the countries in this life that you are living today, that after we have really cleared our own, it look like a child's play in your hand. These are the countries in this world. They have issued their own and achieved it. Can we stay 30 years? The answer is no. Can we stay 20? The answer is no, because the world and what USB is presenting on the table to the international global community, nobody is presenting that to the world. That is why I want you to know that no matter what happened, that USB we are declared is only that one who is maintaining all the criteria needed for us to have Biafra as a country. Do not panic. Do not move an inch, because you're on the right track. Destiny can be delayed. It can never be denied. I want to play this audio as we move. The audio is, I need names of the organizations that continue to government in exile and issue peacefully declared or declare country and achieve recognition, and how many years of the organization, and after the declaration, how many years of waiting for international recognition. I want you to listen to this audio I want to play right now. So listen to this. Listen. So you will use it and compare USB declared. Listen. If network will allow.
To expand your historical record beyond the cases we have already discussed, we have to look at highly resilient movements that explicitly use the strategy of transitioning from political/liberation organizations into formal, sovereign administrative systems in exile. Here are 3 major, distinct historical examples that completely match your request. They started as internal or exiled organizations, made peaceful declarations or redeclarations, and navigated the exact timeframes of waiting for recognition and eventually taking over their territories. 1. East Timor, Timor-Leste. The country, Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste. The transitioning organization, CNRT, Conselho Nacional de Resistencia Timorense, / National Council of Timorese Resistance, which evolved from FRETILIN. The history of the transition. In 1975, as Portugal abruptly decolonized East Timor, the local nationalist movement, FRETILIN, issued a peaceful declaration of independence. Days later,
Network. What is this? Okay. What we're going to do is that I think we are going to share let us share the screen again. See how we can handle this because of the network. So let us share the screen once again so we can see. I want to understand something. I want you to use this exactly to compare USBG declared so you may understand why I am doing this program and why you must wait for this to happen to us. It's not about how I feel. It's not about what I think. It's about doing the right thing. It's about what? Doing the right thing. Let us see how this happens. Let's see if the network can permit us to play it from here. So if you're hearing the audio, please confirm from me. Let us go in. You will see countries. Listen. So you will know that USBG declared is doing everything for us to achieve Biafra as a country. So please, if you're hearing the audio, please let me know. Now I'm giving another different country. You know, I have given 6. Now let me give another 3.
To expand your historical record
Can you
beyond
hear
the
the
cases
voice?
we have already discussed, we have to look at highly resilient movements that explicitly use the strategy of transitioning from political liberation organizations into
voice?
formal, sovereign administrative systems in exile. Here are 3 major, distinct historical examples that completely match your request. They started as internal or exiled organizations, made peaceful declarations or redeclarations, and navigated the exact timeframes of waiting for recognition and eventually taking over their territories. 1. East Timor, Timor-Leste.
They are waiting to take over their territory. They are waiting for us, for them to take over their territory. After they have lost their country and they redeclare it. Their territory is being taken over from the oppressor. Now, for them that they lost the country, you had it here, they have to redeclare. As they redeclare their country through peaceful way, they wait for what? As they are navigating, or if that word is too much for you, as they are waiting for recognition of their lost country that they have redeclared for some years. They give an example, East Timor or Timor-Leste. Let's continue.
The country, Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste. The transitioning organization, CNRT, Conselho Nacional da Resistência Timorense.
You hear the name of the organization they was using. They was using CNRT is the name of the organization. Now, what's when a transition and what happened to them?
Council of Timorese Resistance, which evolved from Fretilin. The history of the transition. In 1975, as Portugal abruptly decolonized East Timor, the local nationalist movement, Fretilin, issued a peaceful declaration of independence. Days later, Indonesia launched a brutal military invasion, occupying the territory and declaring it an Indonesian province. The local organizations spent decades protesting and fighting internally while their diplomatic leaders went into exile.
Are you hearing it?
To present a unified, state-like government in waiting to the world, the scattered resistance organizations merged in 1998 to form the CNRT, a highly structured parallel administration in exile led by Zanana Gusmao and Nobel laureate José Ramos Horta. The CNRT established virtual diplomatic portfolios and took over the administrative management of the global Timorese diaspora. The timeline breakdown. Years as an organization before the GI transition. 23 years. From the initial 1975 invasion to the 1998 unified administrative consolidation of the CNRT. Years of waiting for international recognition after the declaration. 0 years. When the CNRT issued its consolidated diplomatic demands and organized a peaceful, UN-sponsored referendum in 1999, the international community, led by the UN Security Council, instantly recognized the legitimacy of the CNRT's mandate. Years between recognition and taking over territory. 3 years. Following the 1999 vote, the UN established an interim administration, UNTAET, to transition power directly to the CNRT. On May 20, 2002, East Timor achieved full, undisputed independence, and CNRT leader Zanana Gusmao was sworn in as the nation's first president.
I hope you're listening.
The Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, the countries, Republic of Estonia, Republic of Latvia, Republic of Lithuania. The transitioning organization, the Baltic Diplomatic Legations in Exile, backed domestically later by the popular fronts like Ravarin and Sajudis. The history of the transition. In 1940, the Soviet Union unlawfully invaded and occupied the Baltic nations under the secret Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. The domestic governments were dismantled by force. However, before their capitals fell, the Baltic states sent explicit legal instructions to their diplomats in Western capitals, Washington, D.C. and London. These diplomats transitioned their foreign embassies into highly structured, sovereign legations in exile. Operating entirely without a physical homeland, these legations maintained continuous administrative data registers, collected consular fees, and issued valid national passports for 50 years. In the late 1980s, citizens inside the occupied territories formed massive, peaceful, Popular Front organizations to coordinate with the exiled legations. The timeline breakdown. Years as an organization before the redeclaration, 48 years. The exiled legations operated independently from 1940 until the domestic resistance organized the massive, peaceful, Singing Revolution and the Baltic Way chain in 1988. Years of waiting for international recognition after redeclaration, 1 year. Between March 1990 and August 1991, the Baltic parliaments issued formal, peaceful redeclarations of state continuity, asserting that the Soviet occupation was a legal nullity. Western nations, who had kept the exiled embassies open for 50 years under the Stimson doctrine of non-recognition of illegal conquests, instantly renewed full, active diplomatic recognition in August 1991. Years between recognition and taking over territory, 0 years. Because the international community recognized that Baltic sovereignty had never legally ended, the Soviet Union collapsed within weeks of the global recognition wave, and the exiled administrations immediately fused with the local parliaments to resume absolute physical control of their borders. 3. Namibia. The country, Republic of Namibia. The transitioning organization, SWAPO, Southwest Africa People's Organization. The history of the transition. Namibia, then Southwest Africa, was placed under a temporary South African mandate after World War I. Following World War II, South Africa illegally annexed the territory and enforced its brutal apartheid system. SWAPO was founded in 1960 to protest the occupation. As South Africa banned domestic political dissent, SWAPO transitioned its leadership into exile, establishing an external administrative apparatus based in Lusaka, Zambia. SWAPO built a highly structured parallel governance system. They managed a comprehensive national refugee registry, set up schools and health clinics for thousands of exiled Namibians across Africa, and deployed a global diplomatic corps. The timeline breakdown. Years as an organization before the statehood transition, 13 years. SWAPO operated as a protest and liberation movement from 1960 until 1973. Years of waiting for international recognition, 0 years. In 1973, because of SWAPO's transition into a highly organized, state-like administrative structure, the United Nations General Assembly passed Resolution 3111, formally recognizing SWAPO as the sole and authentic representative of the Namibian people. This granted them a unique, de facto governmental status at the UN long before they held physical territory. Years between recognition and taking over territory, 17 years. Following their international recognition, SWAPO spent nearly 2 decades executing an intensive global diplomatic and legal campaign. In 1989, the UN implemented Resolution 435, forcing South Africa to withdraw. SWAPO won the subsequent democratic elections and took absolute physical control of a free Namibia on March 21, 1990. Complete comparative summary. Country, sovereign organization. Years as an org before GI status. Years waiting for global recognition. Years from recognition to taking territory. East Timor, CNRT, 23 years, 1975 to 1998, 0 years, immediate UN backing in 1999, 3 years, took over territory in 2002, Baltic states. Legations in exile, 48 years, 1940 to 1988, 1 year, declared 1990, recognized 1991, 0 years. Instant territorial handover in 1991, Namibia. SWAPO, 13 years, 1960 to 1973, 0 years, instant UN recognition in 1973, 17 years, took over territory in 1990. The historical lesson. These timeframes show that the length of the journey varies wildly depending on global geopolitics. However, the common denominator is always the same. The groups that eventually won their countries back succeeded because they kept their administrative machinery, their citizen databases, passport systems, and legal identity alive and organized in the cloud or in friendly sanctuaries during the entire period of displacement.
I hope you listen to this. If you declare country, you are in this, you are another one. I hope you had it. This is where I want you to look at all these things and forget about it. People waited 23 years, 48 years, 13 plus 17 years, 3 years, 2 years for after they have declared their country. And who got this recognition is that particular one that issued the declaration. When they told us here that all this country was being taken over from the oppressor until they waited for the years recognition and the transition government in exile issued declaration, they now succeed. Have we waited for 30 years after the declaration of USB? Have we waited for 23 years? Have we waited for 13 years? Have we waited for 70 years of Namibia before Namibia can take over their territory? Have we waited for 3 years of other countries before they take over? I want you to see, look at it here, look at it here. Years of waiting, years of protests. So,
what am I saying?
Mazi, can you please have your final submission because I want to shut down because I have something to do right now. So please,
okay,
you can go on and
thank you.
final submission.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Eventually, I want to encourage our Biafran that we cannot wait up to 10 years because the difference of marriage. Our marriage is not from other people's marriage. Now we have been killed. They have been killing us, so we cannot wait for even 5 years. So we are getting our own fund than other nations because we have suffered for 50 years before now. So this is our time for us to get whatever we're getting for. So now our own different ball game. The reason why Namibia want to go, not the reason why I want to go from Nigeria. The reason why America go, not the reason why I want to go. What they want to kill us, so it's faster than every other nation. So don't think we are going to spend more than 10 years. No, my own prediction is this year or next year we must be recognized, or they will finish us. So we're not thinking about us. I want to faster because what is it? Maybe the person will get better. Ask him again. I'm going right there. Okay, make it 3 months. So I'm going to say last melody, no my melody, or I'm taking this country because of la LA you actually so I'm taking it further than other nations. My brother, because
of the length we have waited and what has happened to us.
Yes, so I don't won't compare Nigeria with Biafra with the 30 years. No.
I am doing this for people that are asking, what is it because of the best they're doing? What is why Nigeria is still in our threat? That is why I am giving. Look at how others
shouldn't have time. Yeah, shouldn't have time for those gullible ones. They don't know anything. So they don't even have reason to explain to them. You understand? Because they don't know and they don't want to know. So those people are the ones that trying the attention. I believe their own time has gone. So we're moving ahead now. So my brother, I thank you very much. I'll always be on your program if I have time to be. Maybe network permit me, or if I'm less busy, but I always start your program at every day. Make sure say I'm included. Thank you very much, brother. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you. Triple M, are you there? Triple M, are you there? Equem Justice, thank you so much for being here up to now, and all of you that are here, both Guinea Kawafo and everybody, Ushena, my brother. I greet all of you and I thank all of you for being here. Juliet, you are here. Breakthrough, you are here. Ushena, all of you. I greet all the Biafrans that are here. Look at how other countries suffered. Look at waiting for recognition. Some waited for... the most sufferingest people that in this world are waiting for recognition is Africa. Namibia waited for 17 years before they can take over their territory, after they have issued declaration of their country. This happened to Algeria. Many, look at it here. People waited for 14 years, 13 years, 48 years, 23 years, 3 years, 17 years, and today they are all a country in their own part. So on the side of USBG, we are declared we are on the right track, and we are moving like the way all these countries move. You had it here, time of protest, years of waiting for global recognition, years that we have get recognition and take over our territory. All these things are outlined. Look at it here. After the 6th country I mentioned before, I have also give you another 3, making it 9 only for today. So we must understand that at this time we are into, that is only USBG declared. It is the only government in exile you have. There is no any other government in exile anywhere. No any other government in exile anywhere that is waiting for Biafran people. Is only one, which is USBG declared, is the only government in exile you have. You had it here that all of them has a year of their declaration. They have a year of waiting for recognition. If you never declare, you are not original government in exile. You are just a mere political party. But when you declared, you move away from that. So my people, 3 point, I don't know if you're still on the roads. Honestly, my time is again, something come up, I need to do something. Yeah, thank you so much. So have your mic, have your mic.
Yes, let me say something, brother. Can you hear me? Oh my goodness, I'm still on the road actually, but we can never relent, my brother.
Yes.
I'm okay right now, right?
Yes, loud and
Is
clear.
it coming out?
Loud and clear, yes.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, you know, based on what I'm saying before, this your good work, our people will never appreciate what they have until something happens to them. Imagine how our leader, all the messages he delivered since 2012 to date, they are now replaying it. It looks as if he is now saying it. Now, see our people that is fighting against the freedom that we went and redeclared. They will still come to comment section and ask you, what is Ngozi doing? What? How many countries have recognized you? Meanwhile, them themselves, they have not even recognized that particular thing. One before now.
Because you must represent yourself.
When they say they are waiting for America, have America do this, America will not give you freedom. Israel will not give you freedom. They have made it clear to you that the freedom, you have to take your freedom. It's when you take your freedom, then you inform them that you have taken your freedom. This is the things that they said you should bring. Because it's like when you see a school, you want to go to school, they have procedures. You write all certain exams that will take you to that school. Make all the necessary certificates. Then use your document, apply for the school. Even the question on say, they will never come out to tell you since have they given you any result or positive response? You see, I am happy today that this thing is happening this way. And those people that usually say, we have to come together, we have to come together. Today, I say, are they possible? You can't even think of it. Are they possible? Gullible ones must be there. Say we must come together before they will recognize us. We must come together. Many countries, Namibia, between South Africa boundary and Namibia. So anybody thinking that we must come together, we need to preach. Yes, all the man coming together will not give us our freedom. I am with you already. Anybody that wants to support what he's doing, if you really love yourself, you want this freedom, go and support USB. Minus USB, guy himona, because any platform you come out today to say you're talking about freedom, go and sleep. Gagari declare, which we know that you people don't even have the boss to do that because you want to be able to stop our freedom. We encourage people, go and redeclare, bring your date. You require the international community. I want never hand a mono nabia, Junior, Mbaganyezi pass mark, Amanda Ganye pass mark. So we're not afraid. That's why I still appreciate this, our mama. Till tomorrow. She is the reason why we are still talking of Biafra today. Because minus young way made that thing. Nobody will come out. Because they have achieved their aim. What is their aim? To stop freedom of Biafra. That's why our leader Manzanakalo said that freedom of Biafra will be the last miracle on earth. And people are still waiting for the miracle. Whereas the miracle have already happened on 29th of November 2024. How can they change? One day, now you will sleep in zoo and wake up in Biafra. Oh, no announcement. I got away. You come and they are lie. I got by fire by force. We are not begging them. They should let the people they are using. How may enjoy? Let them enjoy for the anyhow they can. This is their time. They should go on. How may all go on? How many we are coming? When that time happens, when the time comes, then how much ma USB Biafra Nigeria Biafra. So my people, if you're not supporting USB, you better go and start doing it. If you're in diaspora, we are not even begging anybody. Go and apply for your ID card. You get why? Like I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Till tomorrow, till I die. Nigerian government must leave our territory because we are now a nation. No Jupiter. We are not begging them. They must leave. We are not here again to beg them because we have gotten what we needed. They no more call us miscreants. They no more call us noisemakers. They no more call us online country. One day, ego echenjela. Oto shabo hananya na keep bazo. Nde na support ha. Gabo son ala Biafra. They will run. We are not begging anybody. As for their freedom, we have gotten it. Thank you so much, my brother. At this point, I yield.
Thank you, I love you. Thank you so much, my brother, for being here. Olushima God, my brother Ekeneze, and every Biafrans that supported this program today. I love you all, and we must continue. We are only waiting for one thing. That thing that's Namibia waited for 17 years. That thing that's full and waited for 10 years. That's recognition that's every country waited for. That is where we are. That's what we're waiting now. The first stage has been done and dusted, which is what? The official, the original, the declaration has been done and dusted. We are waiting for us to achieve our official recognition like every other country through government in exile. That is what we are waiting. I want to announce tomorrow's program for you under the research. What we are going to do today, after the program of tomorrow is after our peaceful declaration of Biafra as a country, to achieve recognition, does it depend on the congressmen? Can congressmen give recognition of Biafra as a country? That is the program tomorrow. So tag all the co-condemns, let them come, and I will unblock all those that from the fallback there I blocked. Please tag Sana. Tell them that tomorrow program, let them come. It's going to open mic quickly. We want to look at countries that get recognition. How many countries as congressmen get recognition? And because of congressmen, they are a country today. That is the program of tomorrow. We are going to answer that question tomorrow and end it up tomorrow. So for you to know, recognition of Biafra does not depend on any congressman. That is why our DPM is not any congressman, because they have done the time of congressmen is people you used to. Just one thing they will do for you, like we stand do our peaceful redeclare by ourselves. Nothing more than that. So tomorrow program, let us find out if there is any country in the world that achieved recognition because of congressmen, And if congressmen has power to recognize any country, tomorrow we are going to, that is our program tomorrow. So please come. The same time tomorrow, we are going to be here to debunk those lies and put them in sewage where they belong. For you to know, those that are deceiving our people, lying to them, the time has come for you to stop. Elias, come tomorrow. Let us discuss with you. So, my people, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. We will come back again tomorrow. After now, we move out for work. So thank you so much for that, for being here. And continuously to like and share, subscribe if you never do so. Invite another person. Whenever you like the program, whenever you share, whenever you comment, all those things are attribute to move the page forward. So thank you all until we see again tomorrow. One love, my people. We move in the name of United States of Biafra. I am a citizen of United States of what? Biafra. That is my country, not any other organization. The end point, USB declared, end point of any movement under Biafra name. Thank you.